Let's start here. Can we start?
Yes.
Where were we? Only introduction we have done. Correct? All right. Okay, what else we covered? We saw what was tax. We saw overall this syllabus, about the syllabus, correct? Income tax 60 marks, GST 40 marks, and then we also saw about hours taken, or time taken by income tax and GST. The income tax will be very huge compared to GST, but again we have to manage both of them properly. Okay, so I mean you cannot have only focus on income tax or only focus on GST, but yes, GST will help you much better compared to income tax because then 4 marks, right? The thing we did not discuss, but there was also MCQs involved. Tell me. Correct. MCQ is 30 marks, no? For law as well as taxation paper. So overall paper is of 100 marks. 70 marks is descriptive. 30 marks is your objective MCQs. So even this 30 marks will be divided into income tax and GST in the same ratio. Income tax GST is 60-40. Correct. So 30 marks MCQ will also be distributed in the same, you can say, yes, this ratio. Okay, this will be 18 marks. And this will be 12 marks. Okay, income tax and GST. Fine till here? Income tax and GST. Okay, everybody? When I say 18 marks, 12 marks, 18 marks, 12 marks worth of questions, not actually 18 questions or 12 questions, because just like we have seen case laws in law, you can have big case laws, you can have case laws in taxation also. You will be given an entire big story, case study. Based on that, 5 to 10 concepts can be asked, okay, in that case studies, and for every question there can be 2 marks each. Yes, so that also we had covered, right, everybody? Then what else we covered? Direct tax and indirect tax we covered, right, everybody? Which was more progressive? Direct tax was more progressive. Why? It is based on income. Higher the income, higher the tax. If you have no income, then no tax. Simple till here. I think everything else we had covered right now. Okay. Just I think we saw something about PAN also. What did we see? P is for individual or person. C is for company. 5th letter is your surname or name, correct? In case of individual, it will be surname. In case of company, it will be name of the company. It is 10-digit alphanumeric, permanent in nature. So even if you change your name or the company is acquired, merged, amalgamated, or whatever, it will remain the same. This we had also covered last time, right, everybody? Okay. Some very simple statistics. Okay, check. This is a little bit old data, but it will be a little bit tough, but still we can manage to understand. Okay, little bit. Why we are discussing that? Because yesterday also we saw tax rates of different countries. There were some countries with 0 tax rate. Okay, why we discussed that, or not why, but why there was 0 tax rate? To attract the investors. It was little bit, you can say, the rules or law in that country was little bit relaxed so that they could attract investment. Now obviously countries which are underdeveloped, they want lots of investment, which is the one of the, you'll be surprised to know, one of the very small country, geographically speaking, or you can say as per area, it is very small compared to India, but it still attracts investments almost 10 times whatever investment is done in India. No, not Bermuda Triangle only, Singapore. Singapore is obviously one of the developed countries. It attracts so much investment, which is, you can say, almost 10 times whatever India attracts. And again, geographically, it is very small compared to India, obviously. But because of the policies, because of what? Their policies, structure, everything, the rules, regulations of tax, etc. The ease of doing business. What do you mean by ease of doing business? How easy it is to do business in your country. Okay, that if at all there is an investor, does he get all the forms, formats, incorporation of company very easily done, or does he have to go at 10 different departments, and then get it done, and it takes 2 to 3 months or 6 months to set up in the country. That really matters. So Singapore becomes very easy, or very easy, you can say, very attractive destination for investment, right? So that also is very important. So those countries we want to attract investments, they have very less tax rates, or as good as at times zero. And there are countries which are very rich, or they are in a way dependent only on tourism. They are dependent on tourism. So Mauritius, Maldives, you can say this Bermuda Triangles, Cayman Islands we saw yesterday. That's why their companies tax rate is almost zero. There are some countries which doesn't have the concept of capital gains. Capital gains means what? Let us say some income you're getting by selling some properties, selling some shares, selling your gold, etc. They are called as capital gain. We have an entire chapter for that later on. Okay. So again, some countries don't even have that concept. So if you have an asset in that country and if you sell it off, there is no income tax in that country. Okay. So again, there are these attractive policies or attractive rules in some countries because they want more investments. Now this is again a little bit old data. The latest or freshest data you will be able to see on Income India e-filing. Okay. This website writing yesterday. Just a minute. Online, Nitin, Khushbu, all of you okay? Income Tax India e-filing. You'll see some latest of the statistics over there. But just quickly, let us go through here. See, it is a little bit old data, but you'll see number. I'll just read it, whatever is being shown on the screen. Number of ITR forms, okay? And then there is a, you can see a row of, or on the x-axis, it is income range, okay? Income range. Income, you understand? We have not gone into details, but just normal, whatever the person is earning, okay? Then the ranges are, let us say, up to rupees 5 lakhs, income of a person. 5 lakh to 10 lakhs, sorry, 5 lakh to 20 lakhs, 20 to 50 lakhs, 50 lakhs to 1 crore, and above 1 crore. Income ranges, okay? And number of ITR forms means ITR was income tax return. Now, again, I have not explained what is income tax return, but it is some, let us say, some data which we have to submit annually to the income tax department. Simple. What did I say? Some data which we have to submit to income tax department annually, once in a year. Is it okay? And mainly that income tax return. Return is nothing but form. Return is what? Nothing but a form or a format. Let us say it has PAN, name of the assessee, address, communication details, what all income he has earned during the year. So therefore, based on that calculation of his tax liability, what is the tax is to be paid, whether he has actually paid or not during the year. Okay, so is there any amount payable still, or can he get some refund from department? All these things, very basic right now, I'm telling you, is part of income tax return. Understood? Nitin, Khushbu, all of you online? Yes? Clear? So ITR, that number is what? Number of ITR forms. Now check how many had been filed. Now this is old data, 2015, 16. I'm just right now going into 2 crore 51 lakhs. How much? 2 crore 51 lakhs returns were filed having or showing income only up to rupees 5 lakhs. Okay. Now if I take the total, all the number of returns filed, you'll see highest which one showing income only up to rupees 5 lakhs. We'll be doing, or we'll be starting with first chapter today, and you understand that those people who are earning up to rupees as such 5 lakhs are not even contributing much to the tax of the country, okay? Or their whatever income they have, the tax liability is as good as nil, as good as zero. So returns are being filed, income they are showing, but tax is not getting collected heavily from that range, from that number of people. Are you getting my point? So highest you will see here, I think yesterday we saw how many people were filing income tax return, the latest financial year 21-22. What it was, what, 4 crore or something? Out of the 10 or 11 crore, no? We were seeing that. For 21-22, I think we saw, you know? E-filing. Check how many were filed. Almost 6 crore had filed, correct? For financial, this AY is written there. What is AY? We'll come to all of that. Don't worry. Okay. For financial year 21-22, it is almost 6 crores were filed. This is for financial year 21-22. Already tell you. But majority of what, bacho? Majority are into which category? Very, very less income category. Finally, here? Yes, we'll go ahead, everybody. And how many in financial year 15, 16 at least? How many were showing the income is above 1 crore? Only 1 lakh people. Only 1 lakh people were showing that their income is above 1 crore. 1 lakh people out of that time, whatever was the population, 120 crore or 130 crore, whatever it was. Yes. So very, very less people are showing very, very high income. But this is only income tax. Clear, everybody? This again, actually, I had shown you the latest data, but so this is quite old. So leave that. Okay. Check total number of returns filed for financial year 1920. Okay, for financial year just around 2 years back. Okay, financial year what? 1920, 6 crore 59 lakhs. Correct? Correct, everybody? Almost 6.59 crores. Yes. Which is the highest type of income tax return you can see? ITR 1. ITR was what? Income tax return. So see, pay attention. So depending on the type of taxpayer, depending on the type of taxpayer, depending on those types of income, you have to decide or we have to select which ITR is applicable to us. Simple. Are you getting my point? Right? So ITR 1 can be for a person who is having salary income. Only what? Salary income. So again, one thing we can see over here, a person or majority of the persons in India, whoever are showing income as such or income tax return they are filing, they are coming from salary returns. Okay. Or they don't have business as such. They are not earning from business. Okay. Then there are other returns. In that case, you are having some income from house property. That means you are earning some rent from shops or rent from your bungalow or rent from your flat. Then you may have some business also. Correct? Then there can be persons who are partners in a partnership firm. Who are what? Partners in a partnership firm. So what does the partner get from the partnership firm? Remuneration, salary, and importantly, profits from that firm. Simple or no? Correct? So that then there can be other returns for not just individuals. Let us say firm is not an individual. It is collection of individuals. But firm, again, you can file for the separately for the firm, you can file your income tax return. Correct, everybody? Then persons who are having all the incomes, they are having capital gains, income from other sources, business income, house property income, salary, everything, let us say. Then there can be those returns. Then returns for companies. Return separately only for what? Companies. Return for other types of persons. Let us say trusts. Even trusts can have income from donations. So again, separate returns for them. So there can be different types of returns. Now directly that is not part of our syllabus. But like I said, again, you will have little bit of practical exposure that you will understand. So there can be different returns also. Clear till here? Everybody online, understood? Depending on type of person and type of income. Understood or no? Yes? Check over here. I clicked on what? Downloads. Okay, everybody. On the left hand side, what can I see? Income tax forms. Yes. Income tax forms or income tax returns. That is actually AY, but okay. I'm clicking on ITR 1. Okay, everybody, can you see a little bit? ITR 1. There are different types of ITR now. Yes, pay attention. So ITR 1, just for the sake of your example, what is it saying? For individuals, being a resident, that whatever is written in bracket right now, forget it. Having income only up to rupees 50 lakhs, 50. Having income from which type of sources? Check salaries, one house property, other sources like interest income, FD income, dividend income, etc. And agricultural income up to rupees 5,000. So the people who are filing ITR 1 specially, they don't have which income? Business income they don't have. Okay, capital gains they don't have. Okay, these are different types of income. And again, importantly, their income is up to rupees 50 lakhs. There can be zero income also, na? Even if today you want to file return, you can file it showing as nil return, no income. Why you want to file it? Time pass. Okay, or to show yes, you have filed income tax return. You are just adding in the number of returns filed, but are you adding in the taxes paid? No. Time pass. Time pass means at times, or you can, let us say you show just hardly income of 20,000 for the year or 1 lakh for the year. There will be no tax, but you may show income. Okay. See, the filing of income tax returns, why it is necessary? or why it is so important, because people later on have to take loans also. It is typical things, you know. After you qualify with the degree, in 2-3 years you want a house. Okay, not first house. First you want a car. Okay, you may have your own bike or your parents may have given you, that is there, but you want your own car. Then after car you want your own house. Then you want bigger cars and bigger house and bigger more properties. So basically, when you want to acquire more and more assets, people start taking loans. For loans, you have to go to bank asks your income. Simple. And how does that income is proved? By showing income tax returns. So basically, if at all you go for loan tomorrow and you file a return today, they will say we don't trust you because you filed just yesterday or just recently just to get the loan. So we don't trust you. So basically, every year, regularly or normally, you should file income tax returns. And banks generally take last 3 years income tax returns to check it. Okay. And if they still don't trust that, also they directly take your passbook. They ask you for the passbook copy. Then we will see how much entries are there of credit. Actually, the income is there or not there. You're getting the point? So there can be different returns. Okay. ITR 2. Now your person individual and HUF, but not having income from business or profession. He is not having which income? Business income. And what was in ITR 1? Salaries, one house property and other sources. Correct? So here he can have salary. He can have house property. Now more than one house property also. He can have capital gains and other sources, as well as such as selling of house or selling of land, selling of gold, selling of capital asset. Okay, so selling of plant and machinery also. Okay, we'll come to that also. But here again, income can be more than 50 lakhs, 50, because ITR 1 was for which purpose? Income only up to 50 lakhs. So understood here. We don't have to go into too much of details, but basically, I am providing you details which you can check later, just for your knowledge, practical knowledge. Understood here, everybody? Yes. All right. If at all you create your own account here, please keep the password with you. Huh? Otherwise, you'll have a big problem. They removed all the statistics actually from here. Media reports. Oh, this can be maybe. Oh, wow, no records for it. Great. Department is great. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead, everybody. So majority or which incomes you saw now? Below 50 lakhs, correct. And below 50 lakhs for ITR 1. And see, every year also they can keep on changing the format of the form, as well as rules also, which form is applicable for what purpose, etc. Okay. Now there are again different. Now pay attention. Again, there are different types of persons or different types of tax. But just now I gave you some example: individual, firm, company, HUF, trust. Also you can have associations. You can have, you know, you can have that Lions Club. Then you have what association of. There can be association, union. What do you call them? Trade union, workers union. Again, union is a category, no? Again, they are a group of persons with a common purpose. Yes, clear. So again, these can be a different types of persons. Clear to you? Now again, what do you have? Range 1, range 2, range 3, range 4, range 5. Okay. Now again, range is the same one. Range 1 is up to 5 lakhs. Then 5 lakhs to here we have range to 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs, range 3, and directly last one, range 6 is above 1 crore. Again, if I check the types of persons, which is the highest number of type of person is individual. Even if you check any of the ranges, you will see highest which one? Individual. Obviously, because our population is huge, and depending on that, we have formed partnership firms, LLP companies. So obviously, they're going to be very less. But even again, if you check any of them, where do you see highest number of returns? If you see the total, it is always, not always, but it is in range 1. Can you see that? Yes. In range 1, if I look at the total, it is almost 4.63 crore or something. And all of them, that means including AOP, BOI, company, firm, etc. All of them are showing income only up to rupees 5 lakhs. Range 1 is in this case, right? Not ITR 1. It is just range. Range of income is only up to 5 lakhs. So whatever is the total, I'll add up the other figures. 1 crore, 30 lakhs, something. Almost, let us say, 2 crores on a very higher side. Others, apart from range 2 and above, hardly 1.5 crore maybe. Correct till here? So only 1.5 crore are showing more than 5 lakhs, and almost 4.63 crores are showing income only up to rupees 5 lakhs. You're getting my point? Yes. And over there, obviously, we are not even discussing How many of them are showing just less than taxable income? Taxable income means they are not paying tax also. Are you getting my point? So basically, burden of income tax is on very, very less people in India. That's why they do all this. You can say they are irritated that we pay so much of taxes. Now, okay, so we'll be starting today actually with a little bit of taxation and the tax liability calculation. Then you'll understand why the blood boils of anybody. If a person is earning, I'll tell you this. This was in last month only. I was filing my one of the clients' return. His income was almost 72 lakhs. 72 lakhs yearly income from salary and other investments. Okay, salary and dividend income only, and lots of deposits he had done. So he was getting interest income also. Okay, the main income was salary income, and then apart from that, he was earning around 10-12 lakhs of other incomes. Other income is dividend, interest income, etc. Main income was salary. He paid how much tax? 22 lakhs. How much tax he paid? Almost 22 lakhs. And even he could not help it, and I could not help it. That was the how much was the tax liability coming for almost 70 lakhs income. Okay. Yesterday only we saw some rates now. Remember what did we see?
For India, 30%.
India was 30%. So when I say almost 70 lakhs income, 70 lakhs into 30%, 21 lakhs you can take. Okay, this was just a round figure I'm telling you right now. You imagine a person earning gross income or income you earn 70 lakhs. How much tax is paying? 21, 22 lakhs. Imagine 22 lakhs. That is not even our income, let us say, during the year. Or we will take lots of time to reach that amount of income. The tax what he is paying right now. He was not that old also. He was what, around 55 or 56 years old. But 22 lakhs. Then obviously blood boils. How much and then how much tax planning and tax saving you can do? No? I mean that is again our skill. But for salary income, it is very tough to do any kind of tax. Understood earlier? Yes. So now that person, he says he's in which category? He's paying lots of, not in a 1 crore category, but he's in that 50 lakhs to 1 crore category at least. He's contributing so much. Are you understanding? Yes. That was your types based on types of persons. Okay. And then again, some other time pass data you have. You will see state wise also. Which one? What data you see? State wise also. Which states? I mean, or people from which states are filing how many income tax returns? Correct. You will go. I mean, alphabetically in this first sheet, I see highest one 36 lakhs, 65 lakhs. Gujarat. Correct. Then I see Delhi. Then I see I think Delhi as Union Territory. Then 21 lakhs as Andhra Pradesh. Can you see anybody? Correct. Number of returns filed from those states. Yes, all of you. Yeah. It is alphabetical. I'll go after Jammu and Kashmir. Will go now. Understood here, everybody? Little bit. Then next sheet or next slide, we have 1 crore from Maharashtra almost. After that, Maharashtra directly 1 crore. Gujarat was 65 lakhs something, no? Then 41 lakhs is Rajasthan. 42 lakhs almost Rajasthan. 31 lakhs almost Punjab. 38 lakhs, around 39 lakhs Karnataka. Yes. So again, state wise. Can you see point number 32? From states outside India. Andaman Nicobar was already there in first sheet. Andaman Nicobar is Union Territory. Kashmir is already covered. Jammu and Kashmir. Nitin, Uttar Pradesh. Why? Uttar Pradesh is not in India. That Yogi will come to your house. Huh? Uttar Pradesh. Yes. There are non-resident Indians, NRIs, NRI who don't come back, correct? Who don't come back to India, but they are still, we can say, Indian citizens, and they can have some property in India. Okay, they can have some property in India. See, when I say property, it means asset. So even fixed deposit is an asset. Your investment in shares, your portfolio, what you have is also an asset. Okay, are you all understanding? So whatever income you are earning from India, but right now you are located outside India. Are you getting my point? What did I say? You are earning income from India, but right now you're located outside India. You can file income tax return from outside India. You can access the same website from outside India also. So the location when you're filing from outside India, that is from states, or that last category of states outside India. Basically, they are, you can say, non-resident Indians in a way. Understood? Who are getting some income from India. Clear? Bedzati of Yogi. Yogi ji will come to your house with JCB. Pakka. Okay. You say UP is not in India, you'll start crying. Huh? Okay, these were your states. Then which one we have? I think this is covered. Some states are more remaining. Maharashtra was covered. Last couple of states were Tamil Nadu and Telangana. Tamil Nadu almost 42.5 lakhs. But again, this is 2020 data. Understood clear? So state-wise also we understand which states are filing or can understand if a particular state is filing number of returns or higher number of returns, number of people are more over there, or income earning people are more over there. Yes, everybody? How much was Bihar? 17 lakhs. 17 lakhs. Chhattisgarh was almost 10.5 lakhs. Okay. Ladakh was 81 only that time. Lakshadweep 5,000 almost. Okay. Fine. Let's go ahead. What was the full form of CBDT? Board of Direct Taxes. What was it? Your, you can say work or performance or
Rules, regulations
for execution purpose. It is like your BCCI. They have to do the controlling and management of the income tax department. They are basically the chain or the link between your income tax department and your Department of Finance or Revenue. Okay, everybody. So let us understand. Pay attention now. Let us understand the tax administration. That means who handles what from point of view of income tax department. Okay, everybody. People when they get these letters or emails, they get very much shocked or tensed. Yes, some letter from income tax department, income tax notice. Income tax notice is not always dangerous. It may be just a normal notice telling you that yes, we have received your income tax return, we have processed your income tax return, we have understood your income tax return. Simple. So income tax notice is not always something very dangerous. Okay, we'll go ahead. Now check. However, what is the administrative setup? Coming from the hierarchy, from the top. We have what? Ministry of Finance. Who is the minister as of today? Nirmala Sitharaman, correct? Actually, this portfolio kept on passing. One of the very famous was Dr. Manmohan Singh was there. I mean, obviously, was one of the greats in the 90s. Then during again Congress rule for a couple of years, it was also Pranab Mukherjee as Ministry of Finance before he became the president. Then there was Chidambaram, P. Chidambaram for a long, quite amount of time. Then there was, that was very old. No? Yes, I mean, in the early 90s. Then this decade I'm talking about. P. Chidambaram was there. Then this changed. What changed? Your government changed in 2014-15. No. After that, Piyush Goyal was never there because Piyush Goyal is also chartered accountant. I hope you might be knowing. So he is not given this portfolio, but he was given all the others. Then who recently expired? Arun Jaitley. Arun Jaitley was there as Minister of Finance for quite a long time before he expired. And then after that, Nirmala Sitharaman. Right, everybody? So as of today, we have the Shitish Pawar is saying good morning. And Rocco, good morning. YouTube live. We are also live. Yeah, TK. Okay, Shitish can I think he hear you also, no? But yes. Okay. Let's go ahead, everybody. Okay. So Nirmala Bai will be again, you will be remembering her a lot during the entire syllabus. Okay, her mother, her grandmother also, I don't know, but yes, okay, because that syllabus and the changes are so nice because of her only. She's so nice. Okay, so what do you have at the top? Ministry of Finance. So understand, India we have two tier systems: central government and state government. Okay, we will be doing lots of basic things also. So we have lots of departments, any department or ministries, Ministry of Finance. Then yesterday we discussed Home Ministry. Then Defense. Roadwala. Then there is a Department of Roads. Health Ministry is there. Health was there, no? Railway Ministry. Okay. Pakka, na? Red Ministry. You know Ministry. We're not talking about departments. All the department, medical department, store department. We're talking about Ministry of Agriculture, HR and Youth Affairs and HR. Ministry of Corporate Affairs we saw in company law. Agriculture. Okay. Health is there. Obviously, health is there. HR is we have covered. Then textiles industry we have that Ministry of Textiles and Small and Medium Scale Enterprises. Then roads was there. Road transport is there. Okay. So there are so many. Power. We forget power is there. Your electricity power. Ministry of that power and fuel is there. Something is there. Okay. So we have lots and lots of ministries, obviously for separate purposes, right? Everybody online also, you can also answer, you can Google na online walo, oh online people, right? Okay, so yeah, so in under the Ministry of Finance, now finance deals with everything with money. We have now Department of Revenue. So Ministry of Finance, under that what do we have? Department of Revenue. Now pay attention. With the direct link with the government, Department of Revenue, now who do we have below them? CBDT. CBDT manages the entire income tax department. Understood clear, everybody? So under CBDT, who do we have now? CCIT, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Okay, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Under CCIT, who do we have now? Commissioner of Income Tax in bracket appeals, okay, or CIT appeals, or CIT in bracket A. In short, we call them, okay? Commissioner of Income Tax, CIT appeals. Okay, what do you normally mean by appeals? You might have heard of this appeal. Okay, request. Okay, what else? When do you appeal basically? In cricket also you appeal? How's that? That is an appeal, no? Means what? You are requesting. Or basically questioning the decision. You are questioning the decision. See, you might be aware of some news. Then some High Court has given or freed some convicts that they are not guilty. Then people go to the higher court or the superior court to appeal against the decision given by a lower court. Okay, so appeal is something against, or you can say requesting a rejudgment or rethinking of the judgment, but at a superior person, at a higher court. Are you getting the point, everybody here? So here you can go to CIT appeals to appeal against the decisions or anything given by the lower people. Lower people means lower in the hierarchy. Okay, so under CIT appeals, who do we have? Joint CIT, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax. Also we have what? Income Tax Officer, and also we have Additional or Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax. Just like you have Chief Minister and your, who's the second one? Deputy Chief Minister, है ना? Mukhyamantri and Upamukhyamantri, you say, na? So Chief Minister and joint, not joint, Deputy, Chief, Deputy only, no? Chief Minister. Okay, the second in line. Okay, fine. We know in normal language, you don't know all the words in English. Okay. Anyways, but the first person you approach, the first level whom you can approach in Income Tax Department, bacho, is your ITO or Income Tax Officer. Okay, ITO or who bacho? Income Tax Officer. Clear, all of you okay here? This is the first level. Now, when you go to Income Tax Officer and there is some quarrel, or you can say some dispute with him, then what you can do? Now you can go to CIT appeals. Then say that decision given by Income Tax Officer is not correct, it is not proper, this and that, and I have this to submit, I have that to submit, and my claim is proper, correct. Then you can go to his, you can say, for this person, CIT appeals. Understood clear, all of you? So hierarchy, I hope you understood. Clear till here? So the ITO or Income Tax Officer, what is that this name is given over the check? Assessing Officer. Yesterday also we had this one, assessing. So all this thing you are going to understand. Okay, assessing officers. Clear till here? Yes. This already, then we'll directly now go to the syllabus. Okay, everybody. I think this all of this is covered now. ITR also normally we have seen what is an ITR. Clear? Let's go ahead, everybody. Okay. Now pay attention. There is some hierarchy always also in the courts. You know, court, you understand? Correct, no? You go to the civil court, city court, then you go to the higher court, go to your high court, and after high court you can go to the Supreme Court. Yes, everybody. Courts are obviously there for what? For dispute resolution. Okay, pay attention. One of the very famous cases. See, we are just beginning with the syllabus. So, what is the scope and what all things you can understand? Pay attention. There was a very famous case of Vodafone India. As of today, it is merged with Idea, correct? But 10-12 years back, it had just come into India. So it was a separate, obviously, entity. And before Vodafone, it was Hutch. You might be very much smaller kids, and you might have seen those TV advertisements of Hutch. Have you seen that dog? That small pug dog was the Hutch, and Hutch, and it was called something, correct? And then it got later on acquired by Vodafone. Now I'm not going into that entire story, but Vodafone India or Vodafone had acquired obviously shares of Hutchison or Hutch, okay, and then later on it also transferred those shares to its some parent or holding company somewhere, I think in Singapore or something, okay. This was around 2009 or something year, okay, around that year, and then they had used some loophole in income tax act. Loophole means it was not clarified or clear in income tax. So see, law is always can be disputed, or law always has some gray area. Gray area means what? It is not clear what is right, what is wrong. So Vodafone India took a stand or took a point of view, and they said that on this transaction there was no tax. Okay, what did they say on this transaction? What transaction? They had acquired some shares from Hutch. Okay, so I'm not again going into very much details, but simply Vodafone said there is no tax on the same. Income tax department, after rectifying, not rectifying, but checking this transaction, they said tax is applicable. Okay. So obviously, when department said tax is applicable, they calculated the tax amount, and almost, okay, I'm saying almost, it was rupees 10,000. The tax demand, not 10,000 rupees, 10,000 crores. That was the tax demand. You can just imagine the letter being sent by income tax department of 10,000 crore. Yes, it includes penalty also. Yes, because why they levy penalty? Because you have yourself not shown this income, or you yourself had not declared this tax amount on the same. Okay, so almost 10,000 crore was demanded by income tax department. See, income tax department in a way are like that bank committee or bank group which does the loan recovery part. Have you seen loan recovery people? Vasuli bhai, right? So their work is what? To recover tax. And their work is always what? To check where all income can be hidden, or where all there is hidden income, and to recover tax from the same. That is their main kind of objective. Now you think they are going to leave this 10,000 crore rupees? It is in fact a very big, you can say, fish for them. Okay, to get that money. And so they send lots of notices. There are lots of dispute going on. So department, Vodafone is fighting from that side, department is fighting from this side, and the matter went to the court. The matter definitely went to the court. So it went to income tax officer, then income tax, your CID appeals, then to the higher court. The matter went till Supreme Court. Okay, the matter went till Supreme Court. And see what happens in normal way, or as per the law as of today. Whenever department makes a demand, you have to pay some of it, some for 10%, 20% or 30% to go into appeals. Why? Because they are making the claim, department. You are denying it. So obviously you will not pay entire amount, but something you have to pay to go into the appeals. Are you getting my point? Matter went to Supreme Court. Now nothing is, you can say, supreme to the Supreme Court, or nothing is beyond or higher than Supreme Court. Okay. Now for Vodafone India, the person who was representing Vodafone India was Mr. Harish Sard. Okay. He's a very famous advocate, very famous lawyer, and he's also a chartered accountant. Okay. He's also a chartered accountant and advocate. But obviously he practices mainly as an advocate. Okay. Whatever was his fees, we will discuss that later on. Okay. Demand by department was how much? Almost 10,000 crore. Okay. The court gave the judgment in favor of Vodafone India. That means they won the case. That means what did they say? Tax is not applicable on this particular transaction. Tax was not applicable. Entire amount to be refunded, etc., etc. Yes, tell you. Are you getting the point? Now, imagine this person, not single-handedly, but he and his team, okay, saved so much tax amount of the company. He can demand whatever he wants as what fees. Obviously, there is a, you can say, agreement contract in advance only, but still, then how much he might have earned. I used to hear he used to sit in United Kingdom, he used to sit in UK to study and to do all this work, paperwork. For 4 to 5 months, he used to be there, prepare all his paperwork and all this research, etc. Come back here and fight the case. He's here only as in India, but again, very, very famous. Now, these people charge 2 to 5 lakh rupees for per hearing. Per hearing means just to go to the court and submit something. Now, what kind of weightage and importance and power these people might be having? Are you getting my point? So this also we can achieve. Forget that. So the decision was in the favor of Vodafone. Clear till here? Based on the tax law, now based on the tax law as of that year, you know what did Pranab Mukherjee do? He was the finance minister that time when this judgment was given by the court that yes, Vodafone is right and there is no tax on the same. The the parliament or finance minister, they changed the law. They changed the law itself. Law means what? Income Tax Act. That particular section, that was section number 9 something. They changed the law and they said on such particular transactions, tax is applicable. Okay. And not just that, they said that tax is applicable and it was always applicable. And it was always applicable from 1st April 1962. What was 1st April 1962? Yesterday we saw it was the date of starting of income tax return. That means they changed the law with retrospective effect. With what? Retrospective effect. Have you done this word before? What do you mean by retrospective effect? What do you think? Backdated. Simple. It was what? Backdated. So pay attention. So the matter was of 2009 something. Supreme Court gave judgment in 2013 or 14 something. Okay. And immediately next year, 2015, they did change of the law, but that also from what now? Retrospective effect. That means what? What was the wordings by the department or by finance minister? It is not our intention that we can use Income Tax Act as a loophole to evade or to escape from taxes. Now pay attention. Nothing is again supreme to parliament. Who makes the law? Parliament makes the law. So they change the law, and that also with retrospective effect. They have the power. Now the law is what from 1962 as on paper. So what are they saying now? In 2009, the law said that tax is applicable. As soon as they change the law, who is happy? Income Tax Department happy. Immediately again, they send the notice that as per new law or with retrospective effect law, demand is there, pay now. Department, Vodafone had no option. Because now as per the law, as per the parliament, existing law is what? They have to pay the taxes. The matter went into international court. Now I'm not going into too much of story or details, but all these funny things happen and you should be aware of it. Matter went into what? International court. That you can't play with our investment. You can't play with our feelings, not feelings, but investment. We come to India, we invest so much money, we do lots of so and so and work, and we are not trying to evade the taxes. Then you change the law and then we are compelling, forcing us to pay so much of tax amount. Now 10,000 crore rupees is not a joke even for the company. Isn't it, everybody? So matter went into the court, international court. International court gave the decision in favor of Vodafone. Okay. And then based on, now very interesting thing. These were 2-3 matters or 2-3 companies had the same issues. Okay. They gave the judgment in favor of the companies, not of Income Tax Department, Indian Income Tax Department. So what they said that yes, Vodafone and other same companies, they are correct. Okay. So the courts gave them the right to recover the money from Government of India or Income Tax Department. Which money? Which they had already paid or were required to pay as demand, which the department had made demand now in 2009. So some amounts were what given to the department. Are you getting my point? Yes. So when the Supreme Court said Vodafone is correct, department had to what? Give back the money a little bit. Yes or no? And the matter also what? Then they changed the law again. Then they again made the demand. Remember all of this? Yes. And now court said, international court, these companies are right, department is wrong. Correct? So the court told them you can recover the money or you have the right to recover the money from Income Tax Department. Now who has the power to go to the government and ask for money? And government is also not giving the money. They are saying as per our Indian law, you have to pay us money. We are not required to pay you money. Okay. So taking help of this international court judgment. Judgment means order. These companies went to USA, France, and other countries. Now you're seeing how these countries are involved. See, you have assets, you may have assets at separate locations. Similarly, India has embassy. Every country has their embassy in different countries. Every country can have some obviously assets in other countries. So India also owns assets outside India also. Okay, it can be airplanes, it can be buildings, it can be land, or it can be anything. Okay, so there were assets of government of India in separate countries. Are you getting my point? So what these companies did, they went to this government, USA, France, etc. They showed them this international court order and said we have a right to recover from India and your country has assets of India. Now these companies became Vasuli Bhai, recovery agents. Okay, and they told or kind of forced these countries or government of these countries to sell off the assets of India and give us the money. Dung 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 dung. Band baj gayi. Band baj gayi means what? Government of India is under very much tension. Our assets are getting sold by international courts in different countries. Now, over there, government of India doesn't have control. Then there is the settlement. In this government, Nirmala Sitharaman's government, there is the settlement. So whatever mistakes was done by Congress at that time, we want to rectify it. We want to settle all these matters. You don't give us money, and we will also not demand money. So you don't touch our assets outside India. We will also not demand any money or tax for this matter. Let us just quickly settle it. So all these things, the litigation means what? Dispute went on for almost 10 years, unnecessarily. Correct? So it depends also from the point of view or what is the law. Understood? So one simple, small transactions for 2-3 companies, it went almost for 10 years. So it was kind of very, very interesting. Anyways, so these things obviously you will learn when you do things practically also. Understood? So just write down hierarchy of codes in income tax. Write down. I'll go from this angle. The least one is, or the smallest one is, which income tax officer, also called as assessing officer. Let me first finish this diagram, then you later on copy. Okay, assessing officer. So in short, you can call it as ITO, income tax officer, or AO, assessing officer. Finally, the one just above it, or basically if you don't like his judgment, you can go to Commissioner of Income Tax, that is CIT appeals. Okay, CIT appeals. A for appeals. Clear till here? Then above that, now you go to courts. No, now you don't go to Joint Commissioner and CBDT. Now you go to proper courts. One is called as ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Okay, ITAT. Okay, we'll be doing in law also, but we can discuss tribunal here also a little bit. Okay, then just above tribunal, now you have High Court, and above High Court you have Supreme Court. Simple. See why all of this may be important later on. If at all you go to, once you've given your CA intermediate whatever examinations and you go to your articleship interview, this definitely going to help you later on. You know? If you go to the for any chartered accountant's office, and then you go over there, you tell them ITR, I know how many people file returns, I know the format and the process, then obviously they will be impressed, no? Write down this now, entire hierarchy of your department for dispute. Who all are online on Zoom? Not Zoom, sorry, YouTube also, anybody? Let's go ahead. Rocco, good morning. Okay. Okay, done? Okay. पार्टी पार्टी हाँ 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 no 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 you can't. No, the process has to be followed. You can't even directly go to High Court. You have to first go to ITAC. See, there is always a hierarchy. The purpose of hierarchy is what? It should come to that level only after crossing the first level. And see, High Court also doesn't entertain each and every case. There has to be merit to the case. Same thing, there has to be merit in the case to go to Supreme Court. Not everybody can go to Supreme Court. Okay, not for every case. What do you think is the meaning of the word tribunal? Have you heard it before? Huh? Correct. But all of them are courts only. Even income tax officer is a court, by the way, because he comes under this format only. You know? So even officer in the court, CATFL is they are all court. What do you mean by court? Dispute resolution mechanism and a dispute resolution. So tribunal, but because we'll be doing that in company law also. Okay. So tribunal is a special court for a particular purpose only. Particular, what did I say? Purpose. Oblique, I'll say act. Okay. Special court for a particular purpose only. Or a special, or you can say particular act. Now understand, just now we are right now doing income tax. So I'm telling you about ITAC. Similarly, you have for GST also you have tribunal. For what did I say? GST. For company law also you have tribunal. Okay. For company law also you have tribunal. And that NCLAT and NCLT will see. National Company Law Tribunal. Then National Company Law Appellate Tribunal we'll see. Okay. Then for GST also we have. You might have heard about NGT, National Green Tribunal. Have you heard of this National Green Tribunal? What it does? What do you think? Which matters? It is for, again, a court which helps or deals with green means what? Nature or environment. Basically, for environment, there is a court, special or a separate court. Then there can be tribunals for, you can say, railway laborers. There can be, you might have heard of family court, maybe. Now, these matters don't go to a regular civil court. These things go to a special court. So basically, it's a special court only for special purposes. Now, ITAC will not even deal with GST or company law or anything about environment. It is a special court designed only for matters to solve about income tax. So this court is also, you can say, created with income tax or from Income Tax Act, or Income Tax Act said that yes, you have to create such court or such court will be there. Similarly, company law will say that yes, you have NCLT or NCLAT. Then some other law says that you have this kind of tribunal. So what are tribunals? They are special courts, but for a special purpose only. Understood clear? Pakka? Very good. Now, why the special courts are designed, Bachu? Because understand, no. See, after all, judges are sitting over there. And so somebody other of obviously of good knowledge are sitting over there, but they should have good knowledge in that field. Is it of any use if I make an engineer sit over there? No, I'm not saying a chartered accountant only has to be there, but a person having good knowledge of income tax. Okay, so a person who has lots of experience, okay, lots of experience and good knowledge in that field, that person will be sitting in ITAC. Are you getting my point, everybody? Yes. Okay. So, and that expertise doesn't come in just 1 year. No? So, a person who is experienced in that field, he will sit over there and then he will be serving, or he will be, you can say, giving services to the ITAC. Okay, Delia? Now, you might have heard about, there are so many things, basic things we are discussing right now. You might have heard about bench, not on the benches which you are sitting, but Supreme Court bench, High Court bench, and similarly, we have ITAC bench also. Okay. Now, what do you mean by bench? Literally means what? The committee of that court. That means how many people are sitting for that judgment or for that order. When the matters are very, very serious or very, very huge, okay, then Supreme Court has a 13, let us say, 13 judges bench. 13 judges bench. When the matter is very small, it is just one bench. Very small matter, it is just one bench. Okay, it can be just some important matter, 3 bench, 5 bench. But 13 judges, you understand? When there was a matter of that, whether temple should be there or not there in Uttar Pradesh, then it was a 13 judges bench of Supreme Court judgment. Okay. Now, generally, this bench will usually have odd number of people. Use common sense. Why odd number of people? While voting, because again, between judges, there can be dispute. Some will be in favor, some will not be in favor. So a decision has to be arrived. But so that can be arrived only we have odd number of people. Are you getting my point? Yes. So that is how it is. Okay. Now Supreme Court is only one in India. So you have to go in Delhi and for all that matters, etc. but high courts are many. Almost every state has an high court. Then there is a district, or you can say city, or a civil court. Are you getting my point? Yes, everybody. So there can be many high courts. Similarly, we have lots of ITAT also, depending on the area or jurisdiction. Are you getting my point? So even Pune has an ITAT, Mumbai has an ITAT, some other city may have an ITAT. Are you getting my point, everybody? Depending on the jurisdiction or area. Clear? Yes. Now, let us go ahead. What do you mean by jurisdiction? Jurisdiction. Yeah. Power, okay, upon a particular area, locality, correct. So it is a jurisdiction means you can say area or a locality. Online, Nitin, Khushbu, are you there? Jurisdiction means what? Area or a locality. Clear? On which the law is applicable, correct? When you go to college, if at all, correct? There are some rules and conditions which you have to follow in college. Like what? The identity card must always be there. You should not do any musty or time pass in the college. You should not be sitting in the parking. You should be sitting in the classroom, etc. But these rules are applicable only when you are in the area of college. Outside college, you don't even recognize your teachers. You know? I don't know him. You know? It will go like this from them, right? So basically, some rules are applicable in a particular area. That area we call it as jurisdiction. That police people always they say this doesn't come under our area. Go to that police station. And our municipality department say this doesn't come in our department only. You have to go to that department. That department does the work. So basically, you can say power or control for a particular work or for a particular area. Clear? Sure. In the notebook, then write down first chapter. Basics of income tax. Basics of income tax. I have not given you notes, no? Right, no? Oh, yeah, you have, but other I'll just give you the soft copies. Just a minute, okay? All right, ready? Once you have later on your physical notes, or I'll share with you this copy also, soft copy also I'll share, okay? There's a group May 23, no? Okay, at least the first volume I've shared with you. You can later on check. Okay, fine. On WhatsApp also I've sent. Ready? Sure. First, let us go through the syllabus. Okay, that is more important for us to understand. Okay, let's go ahead. So again, income tax, I'm giving you two different volumes. So volume will be there. So right now, let's just quickly go through the syllabus. Now check. Like I said, income tax is huge compared to GST. Okay. So 60 marks. Okay, everybody. We have almost 15 chapters. Okay. Total we have 15 chapters. Okay. First one we are studying today as of today is what? Basics of income tax. Then something about residential status. That means whether you are in India or outside India, whether you are earning income from India or outside India, then what will be the tax liability or what is the taxation for that? Then if at all you have some agricultural income, we have a very big misconception or a you can say an understanding that farmers don't pay tax. You know? So whether on farming or agricultural produce, you have income tax or no, that we have to see. Then there are certain incomes which for which we don't pay tax at all. Okay, or there are certain incomes for which we don't have to pay taxes. They are called as what? Exempt income. Then we come to very important, you can say, concepts. House property, income from house property. That means if at all you have some property, house, home, bungalow, flat, okay, residential flat, shop, etc. From that you are getting mainly what? Rent income. Then you are doing, let us say, some job, salary income. If you're doing some business or profession, that income. Then by selling off capital assets, you can have some capital gains and some other remaining income that can come under other sources. Correct? Then something of clubbing of income. That means adding income of somebody else. Adding income of somebody else. Okay. Then if at all you have some losses, then what should be done for that? Can we set off those losses or carry forward those losses? That also we have to see. Then there are certain deductions from your income. Deduction is add or less? Less income. Obviously we are reducing our income. That we have to see. Then this very famous concept, you might have heard a lot about that. Advanced tax, TDS, TCS. All these things are there in detail for our syllabus. Correct? I'm telling you, this syllabus makes you ready for articleship. This syllabus makes you ready for articleship. So if you go to articleship interview, all these things they are going to ask. Okay, advanced tax, TDS, TCS, because these are the actual work you'll be doing. Then just now we are also saying about filing of income tax return. Return of income means income tax return. Just now we have seen that ITR 1 to ITR 7. They don't ask you ITR numbers, but which people has to file which one, that we have to see. And lastly, simple computation of total income and tax liability. Now chapter number 15 is but nothing separate as such, not very unique. Okay, but it's just a merger of all 14 chapters. Chapter number 15 is what? Nothing but merger of all first 14 chapters. That means all these concepts can be put into one single question. If not all, most of them or couple of them can be put into one single question, and that question can be asked for directly 12 to 15 marks. Okay. Yes, that first question number 1 is a compulsory question. That is a merger. That is a question of total income only. Calculate total income and the tax liability. Okay, everybody. Paper also we can see later on. We will see that. Right? Let's start then. Okay. So first chapter, a very, very small chapter, basics of income tax. See, again, I'm repeating whatever you're studying from me, you're studying law. Law means in a very simple way, when the law is, you can say, recognized, it becomes an act. That little bit of basics again we'll do in the subject of law. Paper number 2, law also will cover that. Okay. So we are doing what? Law. Law has act. Law means act. And act has sections. Act is works with rules, but act itself has what? Sections. Act also has chapters. And in the chapters we have sections. Okay. So basically an act is divided into chapters, and chapters, I mean entire act is also sections. Now what do you mean by chapter in an act, or why do we have chapter? It is a collection of related sections. It is what? A collection of related sections. All right. Are you getting my point? Everyone tell you? Yes? Fine. We'll go ahead, everybody. All right. So first one, pay attention. So we'll be doing literally from section number 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that. You have to see all of these sections. Okay. Did I show you where we can see bare act? Income Tax India website, we can see the bare act also whenever you want to check it. See, the main difference between bare act and our notes, not just colorful. Bare act is the legal, very much legal language. Be it otherwise known that, save as otherwise known that, and all of these technical words they use. Okay. What happens in our notes, we simplify the language. That's it. Okay. So for income tax, we don't have to write the answer like we have to write in law. We don't have to write. Mainly income tax, you will see it is more about of a practical work, calculation of income and the tax on it, or tax liability on it. Understood here? That's why notes are, the language is simplified, so that it doesn't matter even if you're doing it in a very simple language. Understood here? Yes. So let's go ahead, Bacho. Now, introduction, direct taxes. If tax is levied means yesterday we gave the example. Charge directly on the income or wealth, because yesterday we also saw the word wealth tax. So wealth tax was also a form of direct tax. Income tax is form of direct tax. Wealth tax is a form of direct tax. Are you getting my point? So use common sense. Tax on income is income tax. Tax on wealth is wealth tax. Simple. Okay. Of a person, then it is called as, then it is what your direct tax. Simple example is what right now which we are doing, income tax. There is gift tax, wealth tax, but they are now all abolished. Inheritance tax, but they are not used in India right now. Clear till here, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Done? All right. Then other one which we have already seen was which one? Indirect taxes. They are obviously levied by one person, collected by one person and then given to the government. So there were definitely three persons involved. The taxpayer, the tax collector, and the government. Simple or no?
Yes, sir.
The taxpayer doesn't know, or as such he is not aware that he is contributing tax to the government. For him, he is paying the final price to the tax collector. When you buy petrol, diesel, food, your bill includes the tax. For you, you're paying the entire amount, but that includes tax. The person who is collecting the amount, including the tax, he will pay the tax to the government. Understood or no?
Yes.
Yes. Good. So it is levied on the price of a goods or service. Then it is indirect taxes. It was income tax or expenditure tax. Indirect taxes was expenditure based. It was based on expenditure. So right now we have got GST and customs duty. Custom is mainly for import. Whenever you import in our country, you have to pay customs duty. In case of indirect taxes, the person paying the tax passes on the incidence or basically the burden on somebody else. Okay, the tax collector is not paying out of his pocket. He's paying the tax to the government, but from somebody else's pocket. When you buy food from a restaurant, the restaurant owner is not paying tax from his pocket. He's just putting the burden on you. He's just a collector and paying to the government. He's just an agent of the government. Understood or no?
Yes, sir.
Online, all of you understood? So check. Currently, but what do we have? Types of tax: direct and indirect. Yes, indirect tax we have income tax and tax on undisclosed foreign income and assets. People win their election based on this kala dhan, black money. Then we have what we had the notebandi. We had notebandi. What demonetization? Correct. So they think, or obviously they feel there is lots of money in Swiss bank. But when they actually comes to recovery, nobody's talking about that right now. But they just say, yes, people have money outside India, but nobody is able to recover it. Nobody knows actually how much it is. Just they see or think there is a lots of money outside India. But what is the undisclosed, not declared? No? Declared or not declared? Not declared. That also what? Foreign source. And if at all, department comes to know about it, they find it, then obviously they're going to charge huge amount of tax on the same. Because if you declare voluntarily, you will pay normal taxes. But if you don't declare and it is found out, then definitely there is a penalty also for the same. Penalty also, interest also extra. Because you're paying late taxes. No. Getting the point? And indirect will be having what, bacho? GST as well as customs. That we will be dealing with when we will start with GST. Okay, till here? Now, very important. How does the government gets power? How does the government gets power to charge tax? It comes from Constitution. Our entire legal framework, our entire structure of the country comes from where? Constitution. So Constitution made this bifurcation. There will be a central government, there will be a state government. I hope you are aware of history, no? That our country was formed by union of states. Because they were given direct, you can say, freedom. Join Pakistan, join India, or form your separate country. So don't join Pakistan, don't join India, form your separate country. It was our good forefathers, our historians. I mean, people who managed that at that time, they managed to stitch the entire country or unifying the states or separate princely states also, right, everybody? So They made the power that yes, you are joining the dominion of, it was called as dominion of India. That's these small states, you are joining us. But you will also have your separate recognition, and we will also have our separate recognition and power. Understood or no? That's why we have central government also as well as state government. Understood? And they both have their own independent duties as well as power. This is given where? In Constitution. Understood or no? So welfare of people is duty of central as well as state. Clear till here? So the duties and powers are bacho clear cut defined. Okay, they are what bacho clear cut defined. Okay, where are they defined? Pay attention. There is a list of powers. Okay, where it is given bacho? In Constitution. There is list 1, list 2, and list 3. Very important now. Okay. Now list 1 is bacho only for union government. It means what? It is the power only of union government, central government. Understood, everybody? Now, whatever is mentioned in list 1, okay, what am I saying? Whatever is mentioned in list 1 is the exclusive power of union. Then, whatever is mentioned in list 2 is exclusive power of state. Understood? State government list. Okay, and list 3 is bacho joint, or you can say concurrent, both. Correct. Both of them have this duty, or you can say their power. Concurrent list. As per Constitution, okay? Nitin Kushbal, okay? Understanding till here? Fine. So who gave these powers? Constitution. Bifurcated the powers between central and state, and then some common powers between the same. Okay. Union list, state list, and concurrent list. Concurrent means what do we normally mean by concurrent? Jointly together. Very good. Jointly, simultaneously together. Union. So in some matters, union has more power than state. But it is again the responsibility of both. Sorry, हमको note करना है क्या? See this you can note. Okay, this you can write down. Fine. Right now take screenshot, then later on write down. Okay. Fine. Okay, everybody, just pay attention. Now pay attention. Entry number 82. It is a list. List literally means numbers. Okay, list 1, 2, 3, 4 in that list. Okay. So entry number, or in that particular list, entry number 82 of the union list. Remember, understood earlier? Whose list? Union list is what? List number 1 of the 7th schedule to Article 246. Constitution was not divided into section, it is divided into articles. Okay. There your fund, the entire structure is given in the Constitution. You as citizen of India also have some fundamental duties, but importantly fundamental rights. We also call them as constitutional rights. They are the most sacred, most powerful, you can say, rights given to anybody in India. They are your fundamental constitutional rights. Okay. So there you might have heard about an Article 370 also, for that matter. For JNK. Correct. So you have different purposes at the time of making Constitution. They had made all these articles. Okay, so articles is nothing but, you can see, in a way, section. Clear? So 7th schedule to Article 246. Clear, Delia? What do you mean by schedule? Tough question for you. Have you heard of Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3? Section, subsection, clause, and subclause. Schedule 3 will be there for your accounts also, or accounts. Okay, as per no formats of accounts. Good. Now pay attention. Now, schedule is something. Okay, pay attention all of you. We'll be doing this in law also, there also. Okay. Schedule is bachcho given generally after the act. Act will get over at a particular section somewhere. So after the act gets over, in that act itself, but part of the act, some formats and forms are given. What did I say? Formats and forms are given in the act itself. They are called as schedule. Okay, they are in a way annexure. What do you mean by annexure? Something is attached or joined to the act. But yesterday also I told you there are forms and formats are also given in the rules for PAN application. So some formats which don't have to be changed or which should not be changed regularly, they are given in the part of act. And other forms and formats can be given in rules. Okay. Now who takes care of the Bacho Act? Parliament. Or Parliament has the power to make the law. Parliament has the power to change the law. Correctly? So when Parliament thinks we want to define a format which only we can change, or only we can amend, or only we can tell what is the format, then Parliament keeps that format in the act. But when Parliament thinks, okay, the other things can be handled by CBDT or execution body or MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, then they give or keep that formats in the rules. So you getting my point? So it is when the format is very important, it is part of act. When the format is not that important comparatively, it is part of rules. And schedules is part of act. Schedules are what part of act. So the power to change schedule is also with the Parliament only. Simple. So if they have the power to change these sections, they also have the power to change the schedules. Understood here? So schedules are annexure to the act, giving forms and formats. Understood here? So to the Article 246, there is some schedule attached, and in that schedule, bacho, the list is there. Na? The schedule is about what? List. And the list has lots of numbers. And that number 82 or entry number 82, see bacho, what does it say? Okay, Article 246 of the Constitution of India has given the power to the CG, central government, to levy taxes on income, but other than agricultural income. Okay. Yesterday, when we saw the first slide of difference of direct and indirect taxes, over there, yesterday I told you excise duty, central, service tax, central, VAT, state. Remember that? So these powers were also divided. Right now, we don't learn excise and VAT and service tax. We don't have that right now, correct? But they were also now in that case, service tax and excise duty was part of list 1. VAT was part of list 2 because it was power of the state government. Understood on online? Clear? So entry number 82 important. Okay, for you, what is important? Entry number 82. Clear? It talks about power of CG to levy taxes on income, but other than agricultural income. So as such, they say, bacho, no income on agriculture. Clear till here? Why? Why no tax on agriculture? Necessity, correct. On food, basically. Yeah, food is a necessity. And at that time also, farmers were a major contributor in our GDP. And as of that time. So basically, this is a very close, sentimental decision that farmers should not be taxed because they are growing food for us and we don't want to tax the concept of food. As of today also, normal food is not taxed. Okay, open or normal food is not bacho taxed. Clear, everybody? Okay. But if you eat paneer, then that is taxed. Milk is not taxed. Okay, so all these different concepts are there. Okay, everybody. Now, next point. Body of income tax in India. That means if at all you want to literally properly learn income tax, what all you should nicely or properly know. Okay. So check. Components of income tax law. Income Tax Act, we have already seen that. Seen means we have understood a little bit about the basics of that. Okay. Then we have their rules also. Yes or no? Rules also we have covered. So that goes along in hand with what, bacho? Rules. Then we have budget. Yesterday we discussed a little bit about this. That in February, generally the budget is announced. And in that budget, bacho, what happens is budget is annually or no? Yes, budget is annual. Why? The budget is for the coming financial year. Remember that? The budget is for the upcoming financial year. That's why the name itself is what? Annual. Clear? So in that budget speech, this new Finance Act is given. Okay. This Finance Act bacho talks about rates of income tax to be used. What I was saying, The Finance Act gives you what? Rates of income tax to be used. See, what is income, or on which all type of income tax will be levied, or on which type of income tax will not be levied. This is given in the Income Tax Act. Okay. Normal rates of tax which we saw yesterday also 30%, etc. That is given where, bacho? In Annual Finance Act. Okay, everybody, in Annual Finance Act. Okay, till here all of you got it? Yes? Check. Income Tax Act. Again, star mark important. The year is 1961, but it is enforceable from 1st April 1962. Keep that in mind. Okay. It has 298 sections and 14 schedules. Okay. How much schedules? What was schedule? Part of the act given at the end of the act, gives you some forms and formats or some calculations also. Okay. Then pay attention. Income Tax Act undergoes change every year. Amendments. So every year, bacho, in fact, you're learning new and new law. So a person who might have learned Income Tax Act 4 years back, he or she can relearn the changes or the amendments. Understood here? So as of today in the group 1, you are dealing mainly or firstly with the concept of amendments. Your syllabus is not changing. The law itself is changing. When the law changes, you will obviously learn the latest law only. Accounts and costing and FM and eco, they don't keep on changing that much. EIS, SM or other subjects, audit also. What changes mainly most of the time? Law changes. Okay, here. So income tax changes mainly once in a year. When they are giving the budget. Understood here? So during the budget speech, pay attention now. They introduce the Finance Act and also they make the changes to the Income Tax Act. Clear or no? Now their changes depends on the case-to-case basis. Yesterday only I gave you example of crypto. Yes, now crypto was very much famous, or people were making lots of money from crypto. So they thought there should be some policy or some, you can say, clarity on the taxation of cryptos. Understood or no? So the 2022 budget, it was the taxation on cryptos was clarified. Understood clear? Before that, people were kind of very much free to use their own logic or the existing law. Understood or no, everybody? Clear? So it undergoes changes every year. Now 10 years back, bacho, there was no concept of income from YouTube. YouTubers get lots of income from let us say advertisements. Like, isn't it, everybody? Or people are paying to YouTube for displaying of their advertisements. Isn't it, everybody? Yes. So these things, they require some clarification depending on the nature of transaction. Understood? Yes. So it goes under changes every year with some additions and deletions brought out by the Annual Finance Act passed by the Parliament. So basically, through Annual Finance Act, bacho, changes in income tax is happening. Okay, do you see budget speech? You understand a little bit now. The finance minister gives you the budget. Okay, isn't it? Immediately, whenever there is a budget speech, immediately for next 2 to 3 days, or right from that moment, people start giving their own analysis, interviews. Budget is good or budget is bad. These items will get costlier. These items will get cheaper. Or it is good for which people, it is bad for which people. Is it a lower or you can say middle class person's budget, or it is for only for the rich, etc. People start giving their analysis. Yes or no? Have you heard of any company which used to? You have not heard of this concept of AGM, no? Yesterday I was telling you, no? In company, annual general meeting. The word itself means annual general meeting is what? Once in a year. Meeting of the members. Meeting of whom? Basically company and the members. Company means board, okay, the management and the shareholders. Okay. You have heard of Wankhede Stadium? Mumbai. Small stadium, big stadium. It is obviously a stadium means it is a big, you can say, area. Okay. Reliance Industries Limited was the only and one of that companies which used to have its AGM at Wankhede Stadium. That huge number of members or shareholders used to have. Okay. So whenever you have a big event, stadiums, lawns are also available. No? You can have a wedding function at small cricket stadium also, if at all you want to do that. They will be happy to give you a rent. They just need rent only, isn't it? So they used to give it on rent for annual general meeting of Reliance. They used to have so much of crowd that time. Okay. So that was very famous, you can say, moment or an event. Similarly, there were some people who used to give budget analysis and the stadiums used to be filled, or the people have to take these events at Wankhede Stadium or something like that. So many number of people used to come only for budget analysis because it was obviously important for people to understand. Okay, there was a very famous advocate. Later on, also you can research or you can read Nani Palkhiwala. Okay, name only. Okay, Mr. Nani Palkhiwala, advocate. He was very, very, very famous for case laws against the government of Congress or any cases against constitution. Okay, to protect the constitution. You have to protect the constitution, but also from the government. Okay, because government changes and depending on their nature and their point of view, they can do lots of changes in the constitution also, isn't it? So he used to find lots of cases of constitution, and later on he also gave lots of cases for income tax. Gave cases means he fought against the income tax department or income tax cases, and he became so famous that people used to say that in India there are always two budget speeches, one by the finance minister, another by him giving the analysis of budget speech. That much famous he was. Okay, so you can read his articles or his own research. He is not there obviously now, but you can read about him also later. Today also lots of law colleges, they have their some sessions or events in his memory or in his name. Okay, so when you go in the field of taxation, you will definitely hear this name also. Okay, everybody got it? We'll take a break now.
Yes.
Chalega? So Income Tax Act, what is the date of enforcement? Write down in your notebook, please. Write down in your notebook. Write two things. Entry number 82. Which list?
Union.
Correct. List one, that is union. Is for what? Levy of? Tell me.
Levy of income tax.
Correct. I'm just writing only that much. Levy of income tax. Correct? That is the first point. Second, Income Tax Act 1961. But date of enforcement? 1st April 1962. Clear till here? Yes, sir. We'll take a break. 10 a.m. Okay, everybody? Fine. If the office is open, you can take the notes if all your admissions and etc. is done. Okay. Yes. Fine. Online. All okay. करेंगे शुरू खुशबू नितिन कर लो क्या है ना क्या 2 मिनट बाकी है ना सब लोग जल्दी खत्म करेंगे सिंपल नितिन खुशबू
Yes.
ओके ओके all right what have we covered this is basics no ठीक है so we'll go ahead then
Yes, sir.
okay so act we have seen all right very basic rules also we have seen okay what is annual finance act it is given at the budget day correct and from annual finance act changes are happening to the income tax act also okay then we have some circulars notification and legal decisions of the court we'll come to that now pay attention the finance act okay the second one we are doing now the finance act very basic thing for law also purposes okay for law purposes what happens in parliament is first a bill is introduced so during that budget day also budget speech we don't call it an annual finance act we call it the finance bill we call it the finance bill okay and once it is just that is just presented it is only spoken about or talked about in that particular budget day then it is proposed that yes I am presenting the so and so finance bill and then it goes for voting to the parliament and obviously then the bill becomes an act okay so it is a finance bill becoming into a finance act okay everybody finally here so the latest finance act was which one finance act 2000 let us say 22 correct Ilya? Latest one no? We are in 23 right now no we are in 22 correct so the latest one was 22 and it is applicable for which financial year 22-23 this little bit we have discussed no okay so the finance act gives you rates of tax and the law whatever changes are happening for the income tax what did I say two things what first is rates of tax second what changes in the income tax act for the financial year let us say 22-23 are you getting my point all of you yes Ilya? So whatever latest you can say finance act is available that is applicable okay it is applicable for financial year 22-23 is it okay everybody online clear so check when the finance bill is passed by both the houses Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha है ना and gets the assent means approval of the president assent means what approval of the president it becomes the finance act clear earlier assent is approval find earlier all of you yeah pay attention now pay attention the first schedule again we are talking about the finance act bill becoming an act that is there the first part of the finance act gives income tax rates so income tax rates are not just given in the income tax act the rates are given in the finance act see the act was passed or it is applicable from 1962 1st April 1962 is the economy same everything same as of today absolutely not okay main character remains the same that we have to tax or we want to tax income that character that main feature is there but rates or the overall economy itself is changing so rates will also change so rates are not directly given in income tax act they are given in the annual finance act clear or no yes very important so the first schedule gives income tax rates for different assessees assessees in simple bachchu language is taxpayers assessee bachcho in simple language is what taxpayers okay for the current year let us say an advanced tax rates for the next year forget right now we don't know anything about assessment and etc but it gives you what income tax rates for different types of taxpayers you know income tax rates clear everybody till here now here again part 1 part 2 part 3 part 4 I'm not going right now into details because that part we have not yet properly covered okay part 1 part 2 that we will do later on okay so they're talking about different assessee okay so write down in the notebook we'll do very simple on good you can say concept now To assess. Okay, ASS, ESS. Write down in your notebook. Okay. Prithu, thank you. Online student. Okay. Okay, to assess. Assess means, what do you think meaning of assess? Not assign. Very good. To check or examine. Or examine. To check or examine. Prithu, daily morning 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. With a break at around 9:30 a.m. Okay. To check or examine. Assess means what? To check. You assess health of a person. You assess a particular situation or a position, how it is, it will work or not work. Assess means what? To check or examine. Is it okay? Now pay attention. The person who is checked is assessee. Are you getting my point? Okay. What a normal meaning of assess is what? To check or examine. We are in the obviously chapter of income tax. So what are we going to check or examine? Income. Simple language, simple concept. Income tax is levied on income. So first we have to common sense, you have to understand how much is the income. Then we'll be able to calculate income tax on the income. Simple or no? So checking or verification or finalization or totaling of the income is what? Assessment of income. So the assess means what? To check or examine. Okay. We have lots of concepts to do, don't worry. Assessee. Okay. In simple language, simple words, what did I tell you? Taxpayer. Okay. Have you heard of this word layman language? Don't write down this layman, but if at all you want, you can write down layman. Okay. See, there are two things. You and me are technical persons, right? But our language is not understood by a normal or a regular person. If I say assessment, did you understand assessment or assessee? No. So normal person is not going to understand that. So when we simplify, layman means an ordinary person. Layman means ordinary person. Okay, that you can write down. So at times I'll be giving you layman language. Layman language means what? Layman language means it can be understood by anybody and a very simple person also who is not technical in nature. Right? Understood earlier, all of you? So in layman's language, what do we call assessee? Taxpayer. Taxpayer. Clear till here? Achha. Now pay attention. Assessee means the person. I'm writing back to the word person whose income is assessed. Assessed means checked. I'm writing bacho. Ha ya na? Is it okay till here? Okay. Write down. Okay. Assessee means what? Person whose income is assessed or checked. Nitin, Khushbu, all okay online? Good. Okay till here? Now, who do you think, bacho, will check a taxpayer's income? Who do you think? You can give any answer because there is no right or wrong answer because you don't know anything. So I don't even expect. But still, just for the sake of making you talk, who will check taxpayer's income? He himself can check. No. Then chartered accountant. Okay. What else? Tax authority should check ideally. Correct. Obviously, you will know your own income, no or no. You will definitely know. Your consultant, you will show to the consultant, correct? But you have to file income tax return or you have to declare income. In that case, whether your declared income is correct or not correct can be confirmed by department only. Okay, clear? So the person who is going to check actually the taxpayer's income is assessing officer. Are you getting my point or no? Okay, assessing officer. AO in short, correct, Ilya? Assessing officer, AO in short. Also, other word we discuss, ITO, income tax officer. Right? Wasn't he the lowest at the level of hierarchy? Remember that? Income tax officer, CIT appeals, ITAT, High Court, so High Court and Supreme Court, etc. The first person you interact with in the department is what? AO, assessing officer or income tax officer. Officer who checks the income of an assessee. Yes or no? Clear, Delia? Are you all understanding? See, one word is going to help you with Different concepts. Okay. Assess means what? Check, verify. The person whose income is checked is assessee. The person who checks, assessing officer. Simple or no? Okay. Assessment or to assess is the same thing. Okay. Now pay attention. Assess or assessment is one of the same things. So I'm just going to call it the process. What? The process of checking of income. Clear till here? The process of checking of income. Fine. Ready? Is it okay, everybody? Now pay attention. Very important. Assessment year. Annual year. Okay. What else? Now, obviously, give answer as per the point of view of assessment. No? The year in which you have to pay your tax. Okay. What do you mean by assess? Checking. Okay. So it is year that is there. So the year in which, pay attention, the year in which income is assessed. Income is assessed. Assessed means what? Checked. Understood or no? Yes, the year in which income is assessed. Anything tough till now? Any problem as such? No, the only the word is a little technical. That's it. We are trying to simplify it. Simple. Online all okay? Kushbu again. Yes. So the year in which income is assessed or checked. We'll come to that. I have not yet gone over there. Difference between financial and assessment. I'll come to that. Just we'll do that only. Okay. Now pay attention. Now use common sense. Assessment year is what? The year in which income is checked. Don't write down anything. Let us say I have financial year 1/4/22 to 31st March 23. Correct? Fine. What do you think as of this entire year? Entire year. When I will be able to identify or check or verify or confirm my final amount of income? At the beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year? Tell me all of you. Logically correct? When? Only and only after this figure. Only and only after 31st March. Can you estimate? You can estimate, but can you finalize the income as on the 1st April or 1st month or 3rd month or 5th month of the year? We can maximum estimate. Can we finalize? You earn income for the year, isn't it? We do everything on yearly basis, and at least the calculation part, the tax liability part, etc. You may earn salary on monthly basis. You may earn rent on monthly basis. You may sell property maybe once in a year, but entire income we do for the year. So when can I finalize my income? Only after the year is over. Are you all understanding? Nathan understood? Kushbu? So my final income, let us say, okay, just for the sake of example, my income is finalized as such on this day. Clear or no? My income is finalized on at the end of the financial year. Okay, I'm writing but you write the financial year. Now, income tax officer, who? Assessing officer, right? When can he check the income? Before income or after income? After income is earned, then we can check something. Can we check something which is not present? What is not available? Can we check that? So we can check only if it is there. We can confirm only if it is there. So we can check only when the income has been earned or accrued or received, whatever. Are you getting my point? So is it going to come daily on a daily basis to your office and check your income? No. In fact, you have to file your income tax return for the year and declare income, and then he can check the income. Nitin, Kushbu, understood? Ayana. Clear till here? Now, the assessing officer or income tax department can check the income. You told me after the financial year. Yes, agreed till here, everybody? Acha. And the year in which income is checked is called as assessment year. Are you all understanding? The year in which he is going to check the income is assessment year. Simple or no? Yes. The word used over here is year. Are they using assessment month, assessment time? Year means a 12 months period. Simple. Clear or no? Okay. Now tell me, for financial year 22-23. Yes. For financial year 22-23, the officer or department can check the income only after 31st March 23. Correct year? Yes. So the year after 31st March 23 is year, entire year. 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. Yes or no? Are you all understand till here? So in short, I'm going to call this as 23-24. Understood? Okay. So you are going to check the income in 23-24, the income earned in 22-23.
सर
बोलो
सर प्लीज ये रिपीट करना ना
क्या रिपीट करूं?
सर ये मतलब 23-24 ये क्यों
नहीं
लिख रहे
समझा.
हो? हाँ नहीं समझा.
Okay, no problem. See, you are earning income in the year 22-23. Understood? I'm writing here income earned. It can be any income, है ना? Salary, rent, capital gains, or dividend income, interest income, etc. Okay, till here, you are earning in 22-23. See, a person earns income, it has to be checked or verified or confirmed by income tax department. So when the department can confirm the income, only when your income has been finalized. No? When is the income finalized? Before the year, during the year, or after the year? At the end of the year. After the year, your whatever income you've earned for the year, tell me. When can you finalize it? Only at the end of the year. Khushbu, understood till here?
Yes sir.
So if the taxpayer, assessee, finalizes his income as on 31st March 23, for which year? For 22-23. Yes or no?
Yes sir.
So when the department will be able to check or verify his income, final income, only after 31st March 23. Correct?
Yes
Correct,
sir.
no? After 31st March 23, the officer can check the income. Now, sometime back, what have we written? What is an assessment year? The year in which income is checked or assessed. Isn't it? Now, year means what?
Yes.
Period of 12 months. That is okay. Year means what? Period of 12 months. So tell me, after 31st March 23, what is the year coming up? Next year is what? 23-24. 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. Are you getting my point or no?
Yes sir.
Okay. So in 23-24, you will check. You will check means what? The department will check or verify the income earned in. Tell me. 22-23. Nitin, Khushbu, still bouncer.
No sir, it's clear.
Understood? Tell me, understood or no?
Yes sir.
Pakka. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, bacho. So what is an assessment year? The year in which income is checked. In assessment year, now pay attention, reverse way. In assessment year, okay, in this example 22, 23, 24, you are checking income earned in 22, 23. Okay, don't write down. I'm writing here 22, 23 and 23, 24. Now this is the assessment year. Which one? 23, 24. For the income earned in 22, 23 financial year. Hi, Anna. Is it okay till here? Yes, Nitin, correct. 22, 23 is the financial year. I use it in opposite. 22, 23 is the financial year, and that year's income is checked in 23, 24 next year, correct? Simple or no? See, right now I'm writing about FY and AY. What is FY in our example? The year in which income is earned. And what is 23, 24 AY? The year in which that income is checked. Clear or no? You understand subsequent and preceding? Subsequent means later on. Preceding means before. Clear? What is subsequent? AY is subsequent. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
AY is subsequent to F2 financial year, isn't it? Now, please don't get confused. Your 23-24 is also financial year. 22-23 is also financial year. Yes, every year is a financial year also. But I'm talking about income earned in 22-23. Clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Now understand. AY is subsequent to FY. Or I can also say FY is preceding to AY. Nitin, okay till here? Yes or no? Fine. So understand here. This financial year is nothing but a year preceding to the AY. Financial year is a year preceding to the AY. It is just a year before the AY. Yeah, now. What is AY? The year in which income is checked. What is financial year in our example? The year in which income is earned. So financial year is before assessment year, just before assessment year. So it is just previous to the assessment year. Financial is just a year before the assessment year. So this financial year, but I'm just going to call it as previous year. I'm just going to call it as previous year. Okay, simple concept. Okay, bacho. So PY is preceding to AY. Okay, PY is preceding to AY. Don't worry, pay attention. Let's come to some definition. Check here, bacho. On page 1.3, you will see here assessment. Right? What is assessment meaning? Check. The procedure by which income of an assessee is determined by the assessing officer. Clear? Process. He's going to come and check, not come, but he's going to check all the documents, etc. Whatever the taxpayer has provided. Okay, earlier assessment. Have we done assessment here? We have written in notebook. Tell me. Assessment here we have written. No? Now there is one more section, section 3. No, we have no assessment here. Page 1.7. Ready? Everyone there? Check. Assessment year. Section 2 subsection, or you can say clause 9. This means a period of 12 months. Pay attention now. Commencing on 1st April every year. Now 1st April, see year for India normally financial year all the years we are starting as on 1st April. Okay. The word itself year means what? Period of 12 months. Don't get confused. Okay. Now what is the assessment year? The year in which income is earned, pay attention now, is called previous year. The year in which income is earned is called previous year, and such income is taxable or checked in the immediately following subsequent year, which is called as assessment year. Is it okay, everybody? Okay. At the rates which are given in the Finance Act. Just now we discussed Annual Finance Act. Annual Finance Act which gives you rates of income tax, rates at which tax has to be levied. Is it okay, everybody? Okay. So AY, now pay attention. This we will write down in some time. We'll come to your notebook. Income earned year and income checked year. Okay. Is your bacho called as income earned year is called as previous year. Bacho previous year is as good as financial year. In our simple language, we should call it as financial year. See, your accounting, you do what for the financial year ended so and so, or balance it as at so and so. That's financial year. No? So that was your sales, net profit for the year. For income tax, we are going to use the word previous year. Clear or no? See, your P&L balance sheet, whatever you prepare for the financial year, so it shows you profit now or income for the year. So same for income tax, we are going to use the word previous year instead of financial year. Understood earlier? And the year income which is checked, the year in which it is checked is called as assessment year. Okay, all of you? Fine. So pay attention. For AY 23-24, PY is 22-23. So similarly, for PY 22-23, AY is 23-24. Clear till here, all of you? Done? Have you written down this? Nitin, Khushbu? Type, not type, written. Don't write down after this, just for the sake of example, pay attention. There is a Mr. A. Okay, he gets a salary. Clear? He joined, let us say, the job on 1st April 22. Is it okay, everybody? Yes. Finally, he's getting salary income, obviously. For I'm writing 22-23. This is your financial year, no? Normally. Is let us say rupees 10 lakhs. Is it okay? Yes. Now, after his income, whatever he earns, whatever is done, then after the year, he will file his income tax return. Once he has filed income tax return, then his return will be checked, etc. Are you getting my point? So obviously, after 31st March 23, he will file his income tax return, and only if he files or when he files, after that, the return will be checked. Return means income tax return. Are you all understanding? So pay attention. So his liability to pay taxes or to check all the income, it will happen in which financial year? 23-24. Is it okay? Are you understanding the thing, Khushbu? Again, I'm repeating. He earned this 10 lakhs in which year? 22-23. He will file income tax return, pay taxes, and his income will be checked in which year? 23-24. I'm not writing right now AY. I'll change the wordings. But first, just understand 22-23 and 23-24. Yes, all of you. Financial year. See, every year is a financial year. Only from income tax point of view, one year is a PY, another year is the AY. Nitin, Khushbu. Okay. So the year in which income is earned is called as PY. And the same income, correct. The same income, the year in which it is checked is called as assessment. Clear to you? So pay attention. Whenever you will calculate, let us say Mr. A's tax liability or taxable income. Okay, we will say don't write down computation of income and tax liability, etc. on Mr. A for, pay attention, PY 22-23 is what as good as AY 23-24. Understood or no? So in income tax, always this confusion happens that people are talking about PY or AY. Clear to clear? Use common sense. Now next year he does the job. He's continuing with the job. Now let us say salary is rupees 12 lakhs. Now when I say next year means what? When had he joined? 22-23 had joined. No. So next year that means what? 23-24. Now Nitin, tell me the income which he has earned in 23-24. For that, what is the PY? PY to that is the same thing, 23-24. And what will be the AY? Understood or no? Understood, everybody? The year in which income is earned is PY. Now, why is this called PY? Previous, because it's previous to the AY. Now, what is AY? The year in which income is checked. It is just stupid way of putting the words. That's it. Are you getting my point, everybody? Yes. Not you should not write, but you should understand it as a FY, but you should write always PY. We have to use the language given in the law. Exactly, Nitin. Exactly, now you're exactly at the correct path. That financial year and previous year is the same thing. Exactly correct. Financial year and previous year is the same thing. Understood now? That's it. Okay. But the law is always given from AY point of view. The law is always given for AY point of view. Okay, till here? Now pay attention. Finance Act, understand or no? Good question. I mean, you have to understand this. Finance Act 22, okay, is applicable for which financial year? 22-23. That means it is PY. That is means it is AY. The same act is the same Finance Act is applicable for AY 23-24. Understand this. Budget came in February 22. That is Finance Act. It is applicable for the coming financial year. Coming financial year, which is what, 22-23 or no? Financial year is as good as previous year, 22-23. So for PY 22-23, AY is 23-24. Understood or no? Yes, till here. So for your examinations of 2023, you are giving in 23, na bachcho? Okay, it can be May or November. So basically, whichever law is applicable, will be what law, which AY for you? AY 23-24. You can fill in the blanks over there. Okay. In textbook, we have lots of this fill in the blanks because you have to finalize or find the year. Okay. So AY 23-24 is applicable for your examinations in 2023. That means which Finance Act? We will write on that also. That is Finance Act. Which one? 2022. Because now what will happen? The day or the month in which you will give the exams, by that time, one more Finance Act will come into picture. Feb 2023, that is not applicable for exams. Okay, the reason being it is not yet finalized, it is not converted into an act, and it is impossible for you to study just 3 months before the new law. If the law comes in February, it is passed in March somewhat, and then again in May or even in November, it is not possible for you to immediately study it. Are you getting my point? Okay, so even if you are giving in May 23, you are doing Finance Act 22. Understood. Finance Act 23 will be applicable for 2024 examinations. Understood or no, everybody? Clear till here? Nitin, Kushbu, we have written this in notebook, this one. This we have written, no? Is it okay? All right. Fine. So let us come back to the definition. This assessment here is done. So simply, now if we go ahead in section 3, it talks about previous year. Very stupid and simple example. What is a public company which is not a private company? So something, it is just a year before assessment year. What is assessment year? Year after the previous year. Check. Previous year. It means financial year. Immediately preceding. What do you mean immediately preceding? Just before. Just before the assessment year. Clear till here, all of you? Yes. The year in which income is earned is called previous year. It is as good as financial year, no problem. Clear till here? Simple. Yes. The other parts we will do in some time. Again, this is pending. All right, till here? Yes. Okay. Now, so let us read it that also. Business or profession newly set up. Okay. Newly means what? It is coming into existence for the first time. Now, previous year was a financial year or no? Yes. That means financial year starts at 1st April. What if? Okay, now pay attention. Try to understand. So financial year or PY is one and the same thing. So 1st April, let us say 22 to 31st March 23. Yes or no? That means his entire 12 months income is to be taxed. Will be considered and will be taxed. Okay, till here all of you. But what if a person has not joined the job, or for the first time in his life he is earning income, but he had not joined the job on 1st April. His first job which started, let us say, on 1st October. Are you getting my point? In first time in his life, he earned income or started doing the job, and let us say he joined the job or the work on 1st October. Now, is he going to pay any tax for April till September? No. So his tax liability will be from October to March for this financial year. For this financial year 2023. That means for him, as such, the financial year or the PY begins on 1st October, not 1st April, not the entire financial year. Understood or no? Because there is no income. Because there is no income. If he continues with the job ahead, 23, 24. He continues with the job, obviously. Hi, Anna. Correct, Leo? So what will be the PY for the 23-24? Now it will be what? From 1st April 23. Why? Because as on the first day itself, we starting to earn income or no? Are you getting some point? Okay. So when the income is coming into existence for the first time, from that date, your PY or FY will start. PY or FY. Clear, Leo? That means if at all you're earning from 1st April, then your PY or FY is starting from 1st April. If you're starting to earn for the first time, for example, from 1st October, then your PY and FY or such FY is starting from 1st October. Clear? Check. Previous year will commence from the date of setup of such business or profession, but ending always on 31st March. PY will always end on 31st March. Clear till here? Then, if a source of income comes into existence in the said financial year, that means that income was never earned before, or that type of income was never earned before by the assessee. Clear till here? The PY will commence from the date on which the source of income comes into existence. And obviously, FY or PY always ends on 31st March of the financial year. Clear on all of you? Simple till everybody? Yes? So PY means what? A year before AY. PY generally normally starts from 1st April till 31st March. But if you're earning income for the first time, then from that date, your PY, FY will start till, yes, 31st March. But AY is always whole. Whole means full. AY is entire year always. Clear or no? Okay. Come to first question as such. Ready? Okay, first question. A is running a business from 2012 onwards. That means his income or business is from which year? From his earning. His business is continued or in existence since 2012. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Determine the previous year for the assessment year. Which assessment year we are doing? Currently for our syllabus. 23-24. Do one thing in your notebook, bacho. At the beginning of the page or somewhere up. Okay. At the top, you have the top page, top part of the notebook, no? For your syllabus, okay? Your PY is 22, 23. Clear? That is what, which AY? 23, 24. Clear, Delia? So for all the answers, all the things which you are doing, it is for PY 22, 23. That is AY 23, 24. Clear? Nitin, Kushbu, online, everybody, all of you. We'll go ahead. Pakka. For all the questions we are doing bacho for PY 22, 23. That is AY 23, 24. Okay. And from presentation point of view, what did I say? Presentation point of view, we write as such only AY. For first couple of 1 or 2 questions, I'll write both of it. Once it is fixed in your brain, what it means, we will be writing only AY. But because AY is for PY, income is earned in PY. Clear? Okay. Now understand. What are the questions? That assessee, who is the assessee? Mr. A is doing business from 2012. Okay, that means his business is continued every year. So for AY 23, 24, what is the PY? He is earning from 12, I agree. But for AY 23, 24, PY is 22, 23. Understood? Right on your notebook. Question number 1. Okay. The assessee is in business since 2012. Therefore, for AY 23-24, this PY is which year? 22-23. Fine. Done. Second question. Ready? A chartered accountant sets up his profession, means his practice, on 1st July 22. See, wherever the dot or dashes are given, it is for the current financial year. Okay, so wherever there are dashes, you have to write down the date. It is what 20, which date I should take? 22. We're talking about the current financial year. So he set up his practice on 1st July 22. Determine his PY for the AY. So it is 23-24 here and 24-25. Okay. The years you have to change every year. The dates you have to change every year. Okay. When did he set up, Bacho? Date of setup is what? 1st July 22. Okay, just add one year in the question. All right, Leo. So what happens? Is his financial year complete entire 12 months or less? Less. Right now, question number 2. Nathan understood? Khushbu? The date of setup is what? 1st July 22. Therefore, for AY 23-24, PY is from, tell me now. Very good. Very good. 1st July 22 to 31st March 23. Clear till here? And what about the next year? Very good. For AY 24-25, because now it is continued now. It is there in existence as on 1st April also. So for AY 24-25, PY is from 1st April 23 to 31st March 24. Simple. Okay, Delia? Fine. All right. Now, again, we go back to the very basics. Okay. Income tax is levied on person or no? Check. Income tax, where it is. So we are not yet covered this. Okay. Income tax act is done. Finance act is done. Finance act is yearly. It gives you 2 things. One is what? Rates of income tax. Second, changes in the income tax act. Income tax rules also. Now let's go back to the textbook. Check here. Income tax rules. CBDT is empowered. We discussed this, Bacho, to make rules for carrying out the purposes of the act for proper administration. Execution part, CBDT. That's why the rules also of the power is given to CBDT. Clear till here? Rules also have sub rules. Just like in section you have subsection clauses, rules also have sub rules. Forms, formats, provisos. Provisos means provided that, some condition, as well as some more explanation in the section itself. Clear? Then, now we have circulars and notifications. Okay. Your school or college also gives you some notice on the notice board. You know? So, or you can say some kind of clarifications are also given. So when the department or your central government gives you some clarification, they can be either in the form of circular or notification. Okay, so check, pay attention. Very important now. Circulars are given by CBDT from time to time to deal with certain specific problems and to clarify doubts regarding the scope and meaning of certain provisions of the Act. Now pay attention. The intention is clarified by your parliament, but execution headache or execution work is of CBDT. So there are certain transactions on which there may be no clarity. Okay, that what is the TDS rate, or TDS is to be done on which amount. TDS means tax related resource, whether tax will be levied or not levied, or what is the calculation to be done. This is not clear to people at large, taxpayers, industry you understand, normal people working in the industry. So the industrialist companies, they don't know what is actually the clarification. So who helps over there? CBDT gives the circulars for bachcho clarification purpose, that what is to be done and how it is to be done. Okay, Leo? See, CBDT gives you the execution part, but CBDT is not the law-making body. The parliament is the law-making body. CBDT is just, you can say, officer of the parliament. Yes or no? CBDT cannot make the law. Okay, everybody? So, pay attention. The department is bound by the circulars. Now, as soon as this is important. Huh? Department, as soon as I said department, which department? Income tax department. There is a Ministry of Finance, Parliament, etc. Then your CBDT, and under CBDT you have all the officers. So whatever CBDT gives is applicable on their officers. Simple. They are bound by that, means they have to follow the point of view given by CBDT. Income tax officer, I cannot say. CBDT says not to tax. An officer is saying yes, we should tax. They cannot have different point of view. They are coming under CBDT. Are you getting my point, everybody? So department is bound by the circular. But however, very important, the circulars are not binding on the assessee. Means what? Circular is given by CBDT. So the circular is not a direct law. It is just a clarification. So the taxpayer can choose to use or not to use, to follow or not to follow the circular. Circular is for clarification purpose. Pay attention now. So let us say, just for the sake of example, CBDT says for a particular transaction, there is no tax. Okay, if you do a particular transaction, some XYZ transaction, there is no tax. This is a circular given by CBDT. This is a beneficial circular or a disadvantageous circular for the assessee. I'll repeat the question. So CBDT gives some circular. In that circular, they said that for a particular transaction, some transaction, there is no tax. So it is a good circular or a bad circular? It is a good circular for the taxpayer. It is a bad circular for the department. Both of them are exactly different point of view. What is good for assessee is bad for department, because department will not get tax money. Simple or no? But this circular, whatever it is, good or bad, is binding on the department. Officer has to follow it, even if he likes it or doesn't like it. You cannot have your own point of view on that. What CBDT says, department has to follow. Not tell me this circular, legally speaking, is not binding on the assessee. Very good. Yes or no? But will he use it or not use it? What do you think? He will use it. No? Why? Because it is a beneficial circular. Are you getting my point? Exactly opposite, bacho. It can also happen that the circular is not beneficial in nature. It is problematic. Okay, they say tax will be applicable. Department has to follow it. Department officers don't have choice. Now here, the assessee can contest. Contest means he can say, I am not going to follow the circular. If you have problem, let us meet in the court, or we will solve that matter in the court, because CBDT is not a law-making body. That's why it is not directly applicable. It is just for the sake of clarification. Understood? So whatever tomorrow you have to do, the court will decide, or you have to make the changes in the act. Then it is 100% applicable on the assessee. Understood or no? So check. However, circulars are not binding on the assessees, but they can take advantages of an beneficial circular. Simple or no?
Yes.
Clear till here, Nitin, Kushbu, online, all of you. Correct? Next one. And but so circular is given by CBDT, and notifications are given by central government, union government, to give effect to the provisions of the act. That means, let us say there are some section in the act, or some, you can say, some point given in the act. It is not right now immediately effective. So the government can say it is effective from next month. It is effective from 1st of December or 1st of February. So that is issued by way of notification. Okay. Or let us say if you invest, not invest, but you contribute, you give donation to a certain good institute, government institute, IIT, IIM, etc. Then you will get some benefit. You will get some, you can say, tax deduction, some tax rebate or some tax relief. So that is also which all colleges or which all institutes you can give to. That details can be given by way of notification by the government, central government, union government. So circular is given by CBDT. For what purpose? Clarification. Notification is given by union government, central government. For what purpose? To give effect to certain provisions of the act. Clear till here? Now, law, bacho, I keep on telling you from very foundation time, law is not science. So there is no clear cut what is right, what is wrong. Because law uses language or words and then it is open for interpretation. Means you can have different understanding. If I give you one single text, and different people read it, different people will get some different meaning out of it, of the same text. And that is the problem with bacho, law also or tax also. Then the officer or income tax department is going to say tax will be applicable if I read this section. Though taxpayer or assessee says no, even I'm reading the same section, but my interpretation, understanding is different, tax will not come. So what will happen? Dispute. The matter will go into court. Correct here? So we also have to understand, okay, pay attention, that whether tax is applicable or not applicable on a particular transaction with the help of case laws. Now, what do you mean by case laws? Those cases which are decided by the courts. Those cases which are decided by the courts. It can be income tax officer, CID appeals, your ITAT, High Court, or Supreme Court. Which decision will give the most priority? Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court has given some clarification on this transaction, whether tax is applicable or not applicable. Then even can income tax officer tax it? If Supreme Court says no, can income tax officer later on tax it? He has to follow. Nobody can but to challenge the decisions given by a superior court. Are you getting my point? So pay attention. I told you every state is going to have some high court or no. So let us say there is a Bombay High Court. And there is also a Madras High Court. Yes or no, everybody? Now pay attention. Why or which judgment to follow is very important. Now use common sense. Bombay High Court judgment as such is applicable only in Maharashtra and Madras, Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Are you getting my point? But departments are in every city or major cities at least. Okay? Because taxpayers are also in every city. Yes or no? So income tax officer sitting somewhere in Maharashtra and income tax officer sitting somewhere in Tamil Nadu, okay, they have to follow the judgment given by their respective high courts. Are you getting my point? So if Bombay High Court said that tax will not be levied for a particular transaction and for the same transaction, but Madras High Court took a opposite point of view and they said tax will be applicable. Are you getting my point? Both these officers, they have to follow the judgment given by their specific high court. So which assessee is in a better position in this case? The assessee who is sitting in Maharashtra. He can directly tell this income tax officer, oh sir, Bombay High Court has said no tax. Who are you to tax? Are you getting the point? But similar assessee sitting in Tamil Nadu has a problem. ITO income tax officer is going to say, our High Court has said tax. We don't care if Bombay High Court has said no tax. Our High Court said what? Tax. We have to follow that. I will tax it based on the judgment given by Madras High Court. Basically, now these people have to go to Supreme Court. Why? Because the disputes are happening at High Court level also. Now, Rajasthan High Court says tax. Delhi High Court says no tax. At that time, such cases definitely go to the Supreme Court because they have to settle the argument. Because based on jurisdiction or based on area, courts are having different point of view for the same transaction. Exactly same transaction, but different point of view or understanding. I get it clear. So such matters go to Supreme Court and then it is settled once and for all. Understood clear? Okay. So check. Judiciary means what? But courts will hear the disputes. Well, obviously, they will discuss the disputes between the assessee and the department. Simple. Assessee will say tax or no tax? No tax. Department will say no tax. And give decisions on various issues. The Supreme Court is the topmost court of the country and the law laid down. Now, law laid down means the clarification given by Supreme Court is the law of the land. That means it is applicable on the country. The decisions given by various high courts will apply in respective states only in which such high court have jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means again control or power or authority in that area. Understood? All of you? Interesting things. So when we study income tax, it is not just the act. You have to study all of this to have an entire grip on the law. Clear? Act, rules, your case laws, notification circular, as well as annual finance act is there. Clear? Okay. Assessment is done. SSC you have not covered fully. Okay. Final year. Come to 1.6. Very interesting. See, generally your section 1 is normally just short title, extent, commencement, application. Section 1 is generally what? Just name of the act, from when it is applicable, where all it is applicable. That is generally your section 1. And section 2 again generally is definitions. Again I said generally, not by default, but generally it is definitions. Clear till here? So we are learning income tax, obviously, and income tax act. So obviously we should know what is income. The very basic and a common sense thing. Only if in the definition, only if income actually falls in the definition of income, it will be taxed. Only whatever you earn, if that thing falls within the definition of income, only then income will be taxed. I mean, income tax will be charged on the same. See, department gets power from Income Tax Act. Department gets power from Income Tax Act. Only if that particular income is defined, or it is in the nature of income, it is in the nature of income, only then it can be taxed. Because department doesn't have power outside the Income Tax Act, no, or income tax law. So that nature of income has to be defined, or it has to be part of the income tax. Clear till here? Only then it can be taxed. So check. What does the Act say about what is income? Section 2, clause, or can say subsection 24, gives an inclusive list of types of income. So basically it doesn't define income. The section itself doesn't define what is income. It just gives you list of possible types of income. That's it. So check what are examples they have given you. Any kind of profits and gains, then dividend you receive, voluntary contributions received by a trust or institution, but in simple language donations. Then the value of any perquisite means again benefit or profit instead of or in lieu of salary, any kind of capital gains, the profits of gains of any insurance business, any winning from lottery income, correct? Crossword puzzles, race horses, your income, card games, gambling, etc. Wagering. Some received under keyman insurance policy. This we'll discuss later on. Considering received for issue of shares as exceeds the fair market value. Then check this, very important. Subsidiary even grant is income. Basically, wherever you can earn income, any kind of benefit is what bacho income. So it doesn't properly define income. It just gives you examples of income. So here tomorrow, and very important, even if you earn illegal income by sale of drugs or anything else, okay, by doing some illegal activities, you earn income. It is still income from Income Tax Act point of view. It doesn't define, it doesn't differentiate between a legal and an illegal income. For them, what income is? Income from any kind of source. Even bribe is an income for them. Now, so many officers or so many persons, you might see some kind of illegal money stashed or kept in their home, maybe by way of some bribes or some or the other ways. Illegal money, black money. What do you mean black money? It is just an unaccounted money. Unaccounted means what? You have not shown it in your books of account. You have not declared it properly. That is a black money. Understood here? So even that is an income, even if you earn from illegal sources. You're getting my point of no? Okay. So that's why criminals, they use some strategy to convert the black money into white money. Now it is not obviously changing color of the currency. It is just unaccounted into accounted. Accounted means what? Mentioned or notified in the books of accounts. Are you getting my point or no? Or declared basically. Clear till here? Fine. So income just gives you this list of types of income. Ready? We'll go ahead. Okay, sir. Check. Come to section 4, page 1.8. One of the most important and basic section, okay, of income tax, charging section. See, the Act can tell you what is income. The Act helps the finance sector to check rates of income tax, rates of income, rates of income tax. Then there are some rates of income tax given in the Act itself, Income Tax Act itself, some rates, okay. But you should charge the income tax on income, even that has to be given separately, or that had to be given in a separate section. You can define the income, what is not income, how to calculate income, that all you can give in the Act. But there has to be at least one section which tells you that we have to also levy or charge the income, okay, to generate or tax or take your income tax. Clear? So check, what does the section 4 say? In the charging section, charging section means what? That section which gives power to levy the income tax. See, entry number 82 was in Constitution. Constitution said that you can levy, you can. So Act also has to say that yes, we are charging or levying the income tax. Clear? So tax shall be charged at the rates prescribed for the year by the annual finance. See, everything is defined properly in the Act. It is methodically or legally properly given in the Act. Understood or no? So check, what is it saying? Tax shall be charged at what rates? Rates given in the Annual Finance Act. Is it using the word Income Tax Act? In fact, Income Tax Act is referring to Finance Act. And they are using the word Annual Finance Act. So every year you're going to get Finance Act. So main rates of income tax are given in the Annual Finance Act. The charge, the levy, will be on every person, which are specified in section 2, clause 31. Clear till here? Basically, who are your assessees? That is given in the list of 231. Basically, person will be defined. Clear? Then, point number 3. Tax is chargeable on total income earned during what? PY and not the AY. Where is the tax is to be charged or levied or checked? In the AY. So basically, PY income will be taxed or levied in AY. Yes or no? There are certain exceptions that we will see later on. And tax shall be levied in accordance with and subject to the various provisions given in the Act. Means what? How to determine the income. What are the ways, methods, what to add, what to reduce, that will be given in the Income Tax Act itself. Clear on all of you? Unless you clear online, all of you tell me. Okay. So what does section 4 say? Tax will be levied on every person and at the rates given as per Annual Finance Act. Every person. Then what? Next one will be taxed in the AY and not in the PY itself. Clear? Let's for 5 minutes quickly, we'll just check the rates of tax. Chalega? Okay, so check. Rates of tax. Now, where this rates will be given? In the Finance Act. It was given in the Finance Act. So, rates of tax for PY 22-23, that means AY 23-24. Okay, tell you simple, bacho. Now, please tell me, rates of tax are given in Finance Act, but which Finance Act? Tell me the year now. Correct. So these rates of tax which we are learning right now are given in the Finance Act 22. Clear till here? See, year on year there may be some changes or there may not be some changes. Okay, so we are now not bothered with what was happening 2-3 years back or what will happen in the next year. Right now we are just focusing on Finance Act 22. Clear? So check type of person. There can be individual. Individual matlab bachcho obviously human beings. Yes or no? Correct till here? That we are talking about. There can be different type of persons, HUF, Hindu Undivided Family, firm, LLP, company, association, body of individual, trust, etc. Here that we are going to yet see. Okay, we are not yet gone into that type of person. Okay, that we have to cover actually. Clear till here? But very basic. Let us say the tax gets applicable to you and me as individuals. Okay, that depends on two things. The amount of income earned and your age. Because obviously firm, HUF, LLP, company are artificial persons. So they are not going to age as such. They don't have an age limit. There is no senior citizen, junior citizen in companies, firm, LLP. There can be an individual. Isn't it simple till here? So the individual rates of tax depends on two things. Amount of income earned, and secondly what? Age. Clear? So check. There are other things also, but right now check. Right now we'll just focus on what? Below 60 years of age. Isn't it? Below 60 years of age. Normal citizens, okay? Not senior citizens. And in simple language, not senior citizens. Below 60 years of age can be small child also, minor also. Minors also earn income, bacho. Where, how? Partners and partnership are allowed, correct, to have benefits in the firm. What else? What? Guardian. Guardian has taken the shares in the name of the minor. Okay. Then child artists. It can be advertisements, movies, series. Kaun Banega Crorepati Junior, Little Champions, and what all those shows are there for juniors. So they can win from those events or shows also. Isn't it, everybody? Correct? So check. Below 60 years of age. Ready, everybody? So check. Pay attention. Very important now. We'll do the first column today. Check. No tax at all. How much, bacho? No tax at all. If your income is how much? If your total income is up to 2.5 lakhs. So if a person is earning 10,000 rupees salary, you will be earning stipend 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 something, you know? Correct, whatever. Or 15,000 also. Okay, let's see. Let us say 15,000 on a higher side for the first year. Are you going to cross 2.5 lakhs? No. If I take 20,000 dot for 20,000, you are not crossing 2.5 lakhs for the year. So if your total income, when I say total income means all your income for the year is not more than 2.5 lakhs, or it is up to 2.5 lakhs, you pay no tax at all. Clear? But as soon as you cross, bacho, 2.5 lakhs. As soon as you cross, bacho, 2.5 lakhs. The income earned between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, on that tax will be levied at the rate of 5%. Understand? Don't write on anything. We are not solving anything. If a person's income is bacho 2.4 lakhs. 2.4 lakhs. Total 2.4 lakhs, no tax. Right? Correct, Nitin, Kushbu? Correct? Pay attention. Okay, be careful now. If a person's income is 2.6 lakhs, he is in this category or no? Now understand. 2.6 lakhs means he has crossed the first stage. Here, what is the wording used, bacho? From 2,50,001 rupee. That means beyond 2.5 lakhs. Now, whatever he is earning beyond or above 2.5 lakhs, on that money, you will charge 5%. That means his tax liability for the first 2.5 lakhs is nil. And how much is he earning above 2.5 lakhs? 10,000. Hi, Anna. Hi, Nitin, Kushbu. How much is he earning above 2.5 lakhs? 10,000 only. On 10,000, you will charge 5%. Yes or no, all of you? Understood here, everybody? Pakka? Then we go to the next. We have to do lots and solving, so don't worry. Lots of practice. You'll be bored with so much of practice. Next income, let us check. What is the next category, bacho? If you are earning between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, you are in 20% slab. Or basically, income in this category will be taxed at the rate of 20%. Clear till here? Now understand. Let us take an example of a person's income. Total income for the year is 7 lakhs. He crossed first 2.5 lakhs, 0. He crossed next 2.5 lakhs. I'm using the word next 2.5 lakhs. Starting 2.5 lakhs and from 2,50,000 to 5 lakhs is again next 2.5 lakhs. Kushbu, Nitin, tell me. Yes or no? So this part is completely exhausted or used. Yes or no? And we said that the income earned in this category between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs is taxed at the rate of 5%. From 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs is how much amount? 2.5 lakhs again. Are you understanding or no? So this 2.5 lakhs will be taxed at the rate of 5%. That is 12,500. See, first category is how much? 0. Next level or category's tax is 12,500. Are हाँ या ना? Understood? He crossed 5 lakhs also or no? Now he is in the category of that 20%. Correct. And in that 20% category, it goes up to 10 lakhs. But how much is he earning above 5 lakhs? Only 2 lakhs. No. Are हाँ या ना? So the 2 lakhs will be taxed at the rate of, that is, so his total tax liability bachcho will be correct. Absolutely correct. 52,500. Understood or no? Nitin, Khushbu, got it? Pakka? So let us take a last example. And again, we'll go back to the same thing. We'll do all of that again. Okay. Let us say a person is earning 15 lakhs. How much? 15 lakhs. Because the last category is at the rate of 30%. 30%, remember now? Tax liability, normal tax liability in India is basic 30%. So that 30% is for above 10 lakhs. Yes or no? He is earning how much, bacho? 15 lakhs. Now again, let's come back here. First slab, 0. Next slab, remember, 2.5 lakhs into 5% was 12,500. Right earlier. Has he crossed 10 lakhs also? That means this slab is completely consumed. Slab means this category. This category, but is of 5 lakhs now. 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is 5 lakhs. Then that 5 lakhs is taxed at 20%. Arey, हाँ. 1 lakh. Arey, yes, everybody? Yes, and this is above 10 lakhs, the last category. How much has he earned above 10 lakhs? 5 lakhs. But 5 lakhs at the rate of now is 1.5 lakhs. Arey, हाँ या ना? So 1,50,000, this 1 lakh, and this 12,500, 2,62,500. Agreed or no?
Yes.
All of you. That is his tax liability. Repeat. You were with me till where? First was 0. Agreed. Okay. Second category, this 5 lakh, this 2.5 lakhs, sorry, not 5 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs into 5%. 12,500. He has earned how much total salary income? 15 lakhs. So he has crossed 10 lakhs also. Yes, sir. That means when he started from 5 lakhs, he crossed 10 lakhs also. So 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is how much amount? 5 lakhs. And his tax at the rate of what percent? 20% now. 20%. So 5 lakhs into 20% is 1 lakh for this category. And how much has he earned above 10 lakhs? 5 lakhs. At what rate? 30%. So 5 lakhs into 30%? 5 lakhs into 30%. 1,50,000. So check. First category 0. Second category 12,500. Third category 1 lakh. And last category 1,50,000. Total is 2,62,500. This is normal, or you can say basic tax liability. Understood or no? That's it till here. Other people or other categories we'll see later on. That's it. So we start doing some calculations. Hopefully from tomorrow, please bring your note calculators also with you, okay? And textbooks also, please keep it. Ready? Okay, fine till here. So that's it for today. In 10 minutes, we'll start with law. Okay, fine. So YouTube, bye bye. See you later. Bye Nathan, bye Kushbu, all of you, bye bye.